It's time for some hostile therapy.
All right, here we are on Thursday. Welcome to Hostile Therapy with Big Red. With me, of course, your host, Big Red, LT, Mr. Lord Trent. And we got someone else coming up on our podcast tonight helping us deal with these deep issues. If no one in the world is not going to talk about, we're going to talk about John the Icon. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Father, husband, brother, son, of course.
A lot of jobs.
Yeah, a lot of jobs. And then some. Getting into this podcasting game and trying to shed light on a whole lot of topics that people misunderstand and people kind of don't have the knowledge of.
Mm-hmm.
And podcast is that I represent is called I'm Just Saying.
I'm just saying.
Exactly.
Is it just you going solo? You got other people with
going
you?
Solo, but I do have guests on from time to time.
Okay. And what particular subject matter? Is it there a particular one you like to talk about or want to talk about?
I mean, it's a wide variety. That's why I named it I'm Just Saying.
Mm-hmm.
We got a topic coming up called equal rights meaning equal lefts.
Mm-hmm.
We got a topic of would you date you?
I like that. Okay.
And then one of the ones
because it depends.
I'll let y'all come in if you like. A lot of people ain't gonna like this title, but
go ahead. What is it?
Hoes versus players.
Hoes versus players.
Yeah.
You thought I was gonna get us canceled early.
Already did.
Y'all gonna double team and cancel us tonight.
Free
Palestine. We ain't gonna get you canceled. We'll call it pros versus players.
Oh yeah, you better do that, especially if you own some sort of network like YouTube or anything. They'll see that and say you're bullying somebody somehow. I mean,
and they'll be all right. The shit I be seeing on YouTube and the shit I watch.
Look, we ain't bullying nobody. We just trying to educate.
Yeah, but LT, you be saying stuff. You all of a sudden will just disappear or freeze. They'll freeze you up all of a sudden.
You damn right. Because as soon as they try to take me away, I'll be right the fuck back on them. Because knowledge reigns supreme over every goddamn body. I don't give a damn what Chris said.
Exactly.
Got pretty.
What's up, crazy? Down there. Subject of that too. We should all listen up and listen in.
Thank you.
See how you did that? She coming on in a second. She trying to get situated.
Okay.
Voice. I mean, I'm looking at your background, man. It seems like you might be a Marvel fan over there. I see it.
I mean, little something.
I understand all of those references, and I appreciate your memorabilia.
Thank you. I got a autograph picture. There's a bunch of other stuff on this side. I got the Iron Man heart.
I like
shit is the field. I'm a Cancer as well, and Captain America was born July 4th, which is squarely in Cancer season, and it's the 4th of July. So Captain America has always been my favorite Avenger. So
oh man,
I can do this all day as well.
Look. I'm a tinkerer.
Which Captain America? Because it's a black one now.
Exactly.
Or does he count?
There is Sam Wilson, Captain America. I'm gonna be honest. If I wanted a superhero if I wanted a super soldier without the super serum, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't want that because that would just be a soldier, and that's what Sam Wilson is. He's just a soldier.
Okay.
With wings. So my alternative answer, T'Challa. Hashtag big ass T'Challa.
I'm just saying. And I got T'Challa's mask up there.
because the heart-shaped herb is pretty much the. If you start to think about it, the super soldier serum is a bastardized version of the heart-shaped.
Heart-shaped herb, exactly.
They give you the exact same benefits, but one, you know what I'm saying? One you don't have to inject into your ass. And you can actually talk to your dead relatives. That's nice.
Exactly. You get in touch with the ancestors. There you go.
Over in motherfucking America and the Western countries, they really was on some real shit. Marvel, if they really want to bring it back, like turn the super soldier serum into like a new drug, like they do in The Boys, turn it into like that compound B shit, and have motherfuckers shooting up the super soldier serum, sucking dick for the super soldier serum on the side of the street, trying to get, you know what I'm saying, like that because everything is falling to shit with Marvel. Like I never thought I would get to the day where just like the Western, the superhero movie is going out of style. Like if you go see the most recent ones coming out now,
I always say
they're shitty. Like I didn't even watch Secret Invasion. I watched The Flash and I hated it. And I have a bat symbol tattooed on my chest, y'all. Like, you can't even hold up.
You can't even see it.
That movie wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It was okay. Well, it wasn't a great superhero.
It was literally I don't get why they dug Michael Keaton up for that.
Oh, you know why? Nostalgia. Nostalgia only works for so much.
Trying to say, luckily I didn't pay money for it.
Pay to see Michael Keaton in the movie again.
I'll pay to see him in any other bird type of superhero film. I'll pay to see Birdman. I'll pay to see him return as the Vulture, even.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't need him to just pop up and give me 20 minutes of, hey, remember when I used to say this shit, y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when I said, let's get nuts? No, I don't. It was the average person sitting in the film.
You got to realize DC got better villains than they do heroes.
They do, but also they mainly focusing on the Joker, and I don't like that. As a person who went and branded the bat symbol on my chest, I do not fuck with the Joker. I don't. Just on principle. That nigga, he murdered Robin.
True.
He's a child murderer, an abusive boyfriend, possibly homosexual at best.
I think he was.
He definitely has a homosexual obsession with Batman because it's like, hey, how you have Harley Quinn sitting in front of you all day, and the only thing you want to do with her is beat on her
Batman
and chase around Batman, like coming up with shit to fuck with this other emotionally damaged man. I digress.
Look, we can go and delve into this all day.
We really could. I'm the biggest nerd. You don't even know.
That ain't the topic we got. That ain't the topic we try to talk about.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Preezy up here. She's trying to get the link, get loaded up here. So we had one more person to it. Yeah, but we're going to be talking about.
And as far as that bat symbol you got,
Brickgate.
As far as that bat symbol, bruh.
Oh shit!
That's a better one.
That's the murderous bat. That's the Ben Affleck the rain.
Yeah,
that's the shit. Yeah. Yo, Zack Snyder really just made all of that shit violent. I never thought I'd live to see the day where Superman, spoiler alert, snap a motherfucker neck. Just
yes. Bro,
it's okay because he's really upset about it. He's really sad that he had to take a life. That's what makes it a good scene. No, it's you just had Superman murder this person in front of a
check this out. You said you like Captain America.
Word.
So did you see the Steve Rogers one? I mean, what is it? What was the last one that they had? Falcon?
Oh, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Yeah, I saw that shit. Watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like the funniest shit about it. It's like you could tell they don't know what to do with these big finales anymore if it's not gonna be a big CGI battle. Because they really just had this man Falcon, this man Sam Wilson give the world government a stern talking to. You gotta do better, General. You if something is happening on your watch, you don't just clock out. You put in overtime and you make it work for the rest of your workers. You gotta do better.
Well, let me tell you, he just been cast for Kang Dynasty.
Did they cast Jonathan Majors for Kang Dynasty? Is he gonna be in the film?
They cast him.
Or is like, cause has he even what's up, Preezy? Has he even been
Hey.
his picture? Like,
How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
You are killing me. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I don't know why you keep thinking you sending me the link. You don't send it.
I do. I can show you
No,
proof.
you
I sent
sending
it.
it. You must be sending it to Breezy or Miss Feezy. You ain't sending it to Breezy.
Yeah, I can show you proof. It's in my Gmail.
I done cut my phone off, cut it back on, looking. You don't 4:30
Yeah.
hour time.
It don't matter what time I sent it though. I'm looking at it right now. It says
I
sent.
can show you my phone right now. Nothing came through.
You might be right, but I know I sent it.
You know
You
I'm
might
right.
didn't
I'm a
get it.
woman. I'm always right.
cell phone company.
Oh,
You
God.
didn't get it, but I sent it. I ain't gonna deny that. I sent it, but you might didn't get it though, for whatever reason.
This is number 3.
Yeah, I mean, I sent it 3 times to.
No, this is the third time that you didn't send it right.
I sent it to you on the messenger too, and to your friend.
I intercept.
You know, you also can send it to yourself too, right?
What you mean?
You can send it to your own Gmail. Like I can send my Gmail. I can send a link to myself on Gmail.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying I don't receive your link.
I got that, but I'm saying if I put it in Messenger, you can send it to yourself.
Oh,
also.
I know that.
Well, I always tell you to do that, but you say send it to your Gmail. I'm just saying you can send it yourself too, because I put it in Gmail.
Well,
I put it
honey,
in
if you
Messenger
want me
too.
on your show, you send it to me.
I did.
So
To my Gmail. To my Gmail.
But to avoid this, it's easier for you to send it to yourself. Just like I send it to LT. I don't send it to his Gmail. He does it on his own.
yeah, honestly, I just go through the WhatsApp and I just copy and paste and I text it to my Gmail.
Because sometimes you don't get it. And so to avoid this, I'll just send it to the messenger.
Oh, okay.
You know, or you just tell me you'll get it, I'll send it again. It's no big deal. It takes 2 seconds.
I know.
I grew up on Beavis Butthead. I'm a millennial, damn it.
All right, let's get to the point here.
So who's this gentleman?
He's John the Icon.
Oh, John the Icon.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
What's your show?
I'm just saying.
Okay. That's cool. That's different.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to the show. What we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about Brickgate.
Oh my God.
Hope y'all informed on that. Yes, the young lady that made a video said she was hit in the face because a guy wanted her number and she turned him down. And she said the guy just picked up a brick and just threw it and hit her in the face. And she suffered some injuries. Her face swelled up. I don't know if it was an edema or whatever it was, but her face got swelled pretty big. And so the story came out, and initially, people were going to jump on it and say, "Hey, she shouldn't get hit in the face because she don't want to give out her phone number." And you're right. No woman. I'm gonna say this 3 times so people will understand.
Please.
A woman deserves to get hit in the face with a brick or any other object because she doesn't want to give her number. No woman deserves to get hit in the face.
No woman
doesn't want to give her number out with a brick or any other object. No woman deserves to get hit in the face.
Gotta say it one more time.
Any other object because she doesn't want to give her number or she don't want to talk to the guy. So I want people to understand. Preface this.
Brick, y'all. Even if no woman should ever be hit in the face with a brick ever in any circumstance ever.
No.
Ever.
Yeah. I can say I did. I watched that video, and I watched another video that followed this one, and they filmed her. She was going viral for going around smacking men.
I did see that. She smacked a white man on the street.
Yeah, we're going to see that. Well, see, what the thing is, again, she doesn't deserve to get hit because
no one's saying she should get hit with a brick.
But when I first heard this story, much like I heard other stories, like I heard with Jussie Smollett, like I heard with Carly, whatever from Alabama. I don't forgot her name. Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, what's her last name?
I was about to say Summers for some reason, but Carly Richardson. Yeah, something didn't sound right.
Yeah,
because most, when people usually talk about individuals who do act like this, let's just say there is a real person who's going to hit somebody in the face with a brick, they like to incorporate all men into that category. There is a bad demographic of men that would do that. I admit it, and that's why they make prisons and laws for people like that who assault women. But it ain't majority of the men. So I don't think women. I could be wrong. Preezy's a woman. She could tell me. I don't think.
You sure?
Nowadays,
That's the story we heard.
For
Yeah, you can't assume she's a woman. You're sexist for just assuming she's a woman.
I'm sorry, Preezy.
Canceled.
Preezy, you tell us right now. Set the record straight.
Yes.
Are you a woman? I mean, I don't want to.
Well, basically.
See,
What do you like? And then what were you born
Of course I am, 100%.
All right. Okay, Preezy, I'll ask you, do you think majority of the men, because you've had men ask you for numbers, I'm sure, they are coming at you, they probably whistled at you a couple of times. Do you think that's the majority of men that act that way violently if you don't want to give them your number? Do you think that's the majority of men?
No, I don't think it's the majority, but I've had something thrown at me one time.
Okay, tell us about it. What happened?
I was young though, and I was walking, and I'm trying to get to where I'm going, and he was like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And I just kept going. He said, "Can I holler at you for a second?" "Yo, can I holler at you for a second?" "Fuck you, bitch." And
What
he
did
threw
go at?
something at me. I don't know. It might have been a bottle or something. But
What
I was
bottle was
young.
it?
I was young.
I mean, a bottle and a
But
brick.
he
Yeah.
didn't come near me. I think he just did it to scare me or whatever.
Right. But you wouldn't say that's the majority of guys that act this way.
No. And usually if they say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "No, I can't talk with you. Thank you so much for the compliment. Have a good day." And I'll just keep going.
Okay. What do you think what is the usual reaction you would say if you like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm dating somebody," or "Nah, I don't want your number"? What's the usual reaction?
I'm dating somebody too. So what's up?
Well,
It
damn.
don't matter, Mom. That's what they do. But I've never let me see, I'm in my 50s. I've never had anybody be rude. That incident happened when I was probably like 19, 20. But so far I can truly say I've never had anybody that was disrespectful. But I've seen it. I've seen guys get upset because, they didn't get the person's number.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've heard those stories before plenty of times. They could be disrespectful. They may just go their own way and like, "Well, damn, you fine anyway. I still wish I could talk to you." Or, they just, "Well, maybe one day in the future. Maybe I'll see you next lifetime." I see that. But I don't, like you've said, I don't think majority of guys would go that route to, go to assault a woman. So I was a little skeptical when hearing this. And again, the pundits will come out, "Well, you should just believe her. Why you got to doubt her?" Well, because I don't know her. She's not a family member. She's not a friend. I don't know anything about her. And then more and more stuff started to come out about, her walking up to people and just slapping them.
But there was a few incidents I did read where guys did assault a woman for not responding back.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, we know. Not saying it's out the realm of possibility. It's just like, is it highly probable though? But with her, like I said, we don't know the story of what she did before that. Again, not saying she should have been slapped, but
she did not deserve to be hit with a brick in the face.
I don't think I don't care what.
You're right. But seeing these videos, but you still, you don't poke the bear. Like, no, I don't want nobody to get assaulted by a bear, but you don't go up and assault him and put your hand in his mouth either.
Ain't no bear.
If not to bite your arm. So
I'm gonna say this: you don't know how crazy people are.
Yeah, you don't.
Somebody might snap. They might have been having a bad day. Wife left them, and all of a sudden you go smack them. And not saying she should have been hit with a brick, but this dude snapped and he hit her with a brick.
Control how people respond to your response. You got to make sure to make your responses with people real short.
Yeah.
Right. So, and she was talking about how mad she was for the guys not protecting her. or not doing anything to the guy. And this is kind of the basis of what this conversation is on. I'm like, should guys protect all women? And when I mean all women, I'm incorporating, your mother, your girlfriend, wife, your daughter, and strangers. If you see a stranger in the street getting assaulted as a woman, should you go and protect that woman? Should you put yourself in the middle of the fray? That's basically what we're going off of. I'm trying to find a video for this thing, but we'll start off with that then. So, Lord Trent, I'm gonna put a timer on the screen. You're gonna get minutes, John Icon, to give your first initial statement. Everyone gets a chance to go give their initial statement, and then it's kind of a free for all after that to give your opinion about the subject matter. And let me pop the clock up here, and I'm gonna go in counterclockwise. Gonna go LT, Preezy, John, and then Sparky T. As soon as I get the clock up here.
Put me in the game, coach.
All right, here we go.
Ready? Go!
All right, so my thoughts on this situation. I got to start by saying no woman deserves to be hit in the face with a brick if she decides to reject your advances. No woman deserves to be hit in the face with a brick in any circumstance. Now that is out the way, this woman was not hit in the face by no motherfucking brick. And if she was, I understand the immediate want to have the people that witness this alleged atrocity happen. I understand the immediate want to have them protect you. But we have to stop doing, and I say it a lot on here, when we look at a clip that is 15, 30 seconds, 90 seconds, we immediately jump to whatever narrative that caption is telling us to hit upon. If the people in this video weren't helping her, no one wanted to be the person to stop and raise their hand and say, well, why didn't they help? Is there a reason? Because we are in a kind of culture, we are in a time where we say, well, if this happened to a woman, we just need to believe that it happened because she has no reason to lie. But there are women, as we saw with Carly Rodriguez, I don't remember. Carly Richardson. As we saw, there are people that are willing to lie and manipulate the internet and the narrative just to get attention, just to honestly form an income. And that's what we would later see with this particular woman, as she's always raising GoFundMes for pretty much being a victim of some type of assault. Now, I'll wait till we start the open discussion. There's a whole bunch of stuff that if you were to dive onto this lady's social media background, that you would understand the paper trail that she's been leaving behind about this. But the overarching theme of we are literally viewing the world through someone else's lens. They're telling us how to view it, and we just run with that sometimes. I don't think that I'll just have to wait to get to that. I'm running out of time.
All right, LT. So now we're gonna let Preezy go next on that. Preezy, I don't know if you answered. Still, the question is, should men protect all women when it comes to these type of situations? The same type of situation. Mother, father, wife, girlfriend, daughter, and complete stranger. Preezy, what do you think about the matter? Hold up and pop the top in. There we go.
Are you ready? Go!
You're on mute.
I'm sorry. That's a tough one because a lot of brothers have been killed over nonsense with lies from women. And I'm not saying all, but I do know, not killed, but got into situations where it wasn't true and they got locked up behind that. But when it comes to your mother or a family member, yeah, I think all men should protect women. This situation with this young lady, like, we don't know the full story, but we all know that she shouldn't have gotten hit with a brick. That's no ifs, ands, buts about that. Now, if she had pressed charges, and I don't know if she did, everybody that's usually around a situation that happens is a conspiracy to it. So my thing is, what did they do? So we don't, like I said, I don't know the whole full story, but to hit her in the face like that, because her face was bad, was wrong. Should men protect women? Yeah, I think they should protect women. But I would like to, I think the person should know the story first, because what if you're protecting somebody and they're guilty, and now you in trouble for something that they did, so women should be protected, as long as the truth, as long as the story is the truth. Now, of course, you're gonna protect your mom and whatever. There's no doubt. I don't care. You're gonna protect your mom to the fullest. But find a story out first before you wind up in jail for somebody else's nonsense.
All right. All right, John, you're up next. Should men protect all women, in your opinion?
Are you ready? Go!
Do I believe that should men protect all women? That's kind of a situational thing. Like Preezy said, you need to know the whole story. I had a situation where I ended up in handcuffs trying to protect a female and sitting on the curb about to be arrested over a lie, trying to protect the female. So yes, I do believe that it is true. And I know that also, yeah, you could get murdered over this. Once you go out there and do this, after the situation's over with, you could have a enemy. You could actually make a full-fledged enemy out of this situation. Man could walk up on you, shoot you. Now you're not going home to your family at the end of the day.
Right.
So yes, I do believe that you should protect your mom, your sister, and other women. But I believe it's circumstantial. I believe you should know the story. I believe that you should get more information. And as far as this young lady goes, no, she should not have been hit with a brick. No, we're going to say this again. She should not have been hit with a brick or any other object. I believe that, she poked the bear. As we stated before, she poked the bear. And that's no cause for this, but she poked the bear. She proved to poke the bear before in other situations. So she just wanted attention at that point, unfortunately. But no, I don't believe that anybody should get hit with a brick. And I believe that you should protect, most women in most situations. Some in most situations.
All right. Sparky T, you're up next. What do you think? Do you think men should protect all women?
Are you ready? Go!
I think that men should protect all women that want to be protected. And I say that because, I'm sure we're all familiar with situations where people have either tried to help people, maybe a domestic violence situation or whatever. You go in to help, because your cousin getting beat up by whoever. And you go over there fighting with the, whoever the other party, and before you know it, your cousin jumping on you, telling you to leave them alone. That's their man, that's their baby, whatever. So that's why I said I think that, men should protect all women that want to be protected. I believe if we out somewhere and we see a situation unfold, like we see a situation unfold from beginning to end, we see this man about to do something to this woman. No, I don't think that people should just stand around and let it happen. Like they didn't see them get into, maybe a word battle or whatever that has turned into something physical. Like we sit here and watch this happen. I feel like people should intervene. Just like the people did for the black man that was getting beat up on the side. Somebody swim all the way across a whole channel of water to come in this fight for an old black man. But when it's a woman, everybody want to turn their cheek like, well, we don't know what the woman did. But shit, we ain't know what the old black man did either. But that didn't stop people from jumping in the water and going and posting up, fighting, knocking niggas out, hitting people with chairs, all of that. When people didn't said know the whole story or said no, from beginning to end, people were still willing to jump in. Brothers were still willing to jump in and help this other brother. But if that was a woman, sometimes it's like, well, what does she do? What does she do to make that happen? How does she instigate it? How does she poke the bear? What did she do? Wasn't nobody asking that when they was out there doing all that shit for that black man? And granted, people saw that he was about to fight with 2 white men. Well, the woman could be in the same situation where you know it's totally wrong. But instead of people jumping in and going that extra mile like they did for homeboy, they women that ask, they're willing to ask quick, what did the woman do? What did she do to make it her fault? And that part of it is a shame too. Like we gotta, you know what I'm saying? This guy, what's good for the goose gotta be good for the gander. If we willing to jump in a pool of water and swim across for the man, we gotta be willing to do the same thing for the woman. So that's it.
Are you ready? Go!
You raised a very good point, Sparky.
Yes,
You did raise a good point. If you were to see let's put myself in that situation. If I were to see a guy out there who's getting beat up or getting attacked, I would say at least by one person. I probably would just let it go. I probably wouldn't help him in that situation. But the situation like the guy in Alabama where it's one black guy, 2, I don't know how many white people started at first, but started to be a gang of them to start to attack him. Would I have helped him? I probably would have thought about it at least. And I think I would have probably thought about it too if it was one black woman and there was like 3 guys attacking her, then that would probably be different, But again, we don't know fully what happened with this situation, but I would at least question it. But I mean, you raise a good point. If you're going to help a guy out and you don't know the situation, should you lead that same type of advice to helping the woman out? And I could say, you can say no on both. If I don't know him and I don't know what he did, I don't know how he started it, then I'm probably not going to help him. Unless I see maybe certain situations like the one in Alabama, then it turns into a black and white issue. So it seems like it's one person versus a whole race. And maybe it shouldn't be viewed that way, but that's the way it is sometimes. With a woman and a guy, seeing them fighting, it could be a one-on-one situation. No, a woman should not be, be beaten on by another guy. But what I mean by one-on-one, it could be a relationship issue that she doesn't want fixed or whatever like that. So that's the first thoughts I'm thinking is like, is she even going to want my help? Is it just a small little fighting between them? Do they do this all the time? Does she abuse him versus, complete strangers that probably fight in public? I might think about helping them, whatever. But as backwards as it may seem, you do have a point on that. But back to the question, I guess I kind of did answer it. Should I help all kind of women, strangers or whatever like that? I would say no. I would say no in both situations. If there was another guy like that, I probably wouldn't help either, besides maybe calling the police. Let them do it.
Here's why I see those situations is a little different. Oh, my bad.
Hold on. Let me finish real quick. It's just somebody I feel I don't know, looks weak, handicapped, an old guy or something like that, and he doesn't even look like he can defend himself. Maybe. But that could be said the same way, too, with a woman. So like I said, Sparky made a good point on that. To think about that. If a woman who clearly can't fight and she's getting beat on by another guy, should you help him out? Also, I would have to ask, again, in my head, in the moment, did she do something to spur that antagonist on? Did she do something to make that guy attack her? And from what I've seen, from what the story, she was doing that. She was antagonizing people and slapping guys like that. Again, does not deserve to be slapped, but you don't know the other person's mentality, because some people will kill you off of that. You can't just slap them. You just can't slap a man. As Charlie Murphy said, they'll kill you. That's a duel right there. You die off of stuff like that. Men can't do that to other men and shouldn't do to other men. Men should not be going slapping another guy and not expecting some retaliation. So women shouldn't either. Keep your hands to yourself. All right. Go ahead. What you going to say, LT?
I want to say, one, I first completely agree. You should protect all women who want to be protected. That is not to be disagreed with whatsoever. Where I see the situations as being different, as that old black man was not just fighting. He wasn't fighting a white woman. He was getting jumped by several other white men. So this was a situation where it was not only a man-on-man altercation. It was one man versus many men in a very clearly racial racially motivated situation. So whereas that person, yes, is a stranger, but if you're still seeing one person being savagely beat down by a group of people, and again, as we said when we were talking about it, something ancestral kicks in, especially when they look like you, and the people that aren't being that are beating this person down don't look like you. Now, where the situation happened with this woman, this is a man and woman altercation. This is not something like the Atlanta brawl or the Alabama brawl. Someone else was recording that. That wasn't the black man getting jumped and saying, "Oh shit, I'm getting jumped. Ain't nobody gonna help me." Because again, if no one is there to protect you in this situation, that's what the police are for. That like we were saying, this is what jails are for. Why did she immediately grab her phone to broadcast it to social media instead of filing the police report? And that's what leads a person to ask what actually happened. Because again, if you're out in public and you see a man arguing with a woman, they could be boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, but they could be arguing with each other in a very aggressive, "What, you bitch ass nigga, you dirty ass slut." Do you then, as a random person, step in, interject yourself and say, "Excuse me, ma'am, do you need to be protected?" Because they could both look at you and say, "Mind your fucking business. I'm having a discussion with my wife here. She's a dirty slut, and I just, please and thank you." Like, at what point do we, you know what I'm saying? Like, the line gets kind of gray. Again, nobody deserves to be hit in the fucking face with a damn brick. But the reason we need to ask
keep saying that. We got it.
You got to keep saying it.
We have to keep saying that. It cannot be understated enough. But yet nobody asks questions. No one wants to ask, what did this woman? Because again, if I don't know, and I feel like it's very
victim blaming. That's what they'll call it.
The what?
They'll call it victim blaming. When you say, "Well, what did she do?" I mean,
it is called victim blaming when you ask the victim what happens. But literally, that's what the police would do. The police would ask you what happened. Okay, what is the description of the man? Can you point him out? Like, if you're so ready to get on social media and tell us right after it happens, you're so ready to get on social media and tell us as you're sitting in the hospital, why have you not talked to people that could actually help, like the police, that could actually find this person? Because again, we're not going to ask exactly what happened because she immediately hit on things that trigger us. Women know what it feels like to reject a man and he just not take no for an answer. So that's an immediate emotional response that everyone can say, "Oh, I've been in a situation where a man just would not take no for an answer." And every woman has the slight fear of this man really not taking no for an answer and going as far to make the physical threat. And again, to get back into this woman's particular history, she doesn't believe men are there to protect anyway. So it's kind of contradictory. Like she made videos where she said that she, as a lesbian woman, is the true protector. She's the true provider. She like classic rhetoric of, "I don't need a man to provide and protect for me." And no, you legitimately do not. So it's kind of contradictory for when something to happen to you, you to want to blame the fact that men aren't doing what you said they don't do. And then again, when you go back through her history, she's already had a history. Like I saw the video of her cursing out a white man on the streets, slapped him in the face, walked off, gave a little twerk, and nobody said anything. No one stopped and said, "Oh my God, that woman slapped that white man. Is that man okay?" It was okay. She probably cheered. It probably made her go viral. She probably gained followers off of that.
Because
when we saw the black man getting jumped, we did something. But when we see men being physically assaulted by women, we don't do shit. I can attest to this. I drove by. I remember I was coming down Bragg Boulevard. I drove by a kangaroo and saw a woman. I don't know what the situation was, but he was running around the car and she was chasing him and trying to beat the shit out of him. He was actively trying to run away from this woman, and she was actively chasing him, trying to physically assault him. And everyone at the kangaroo continued to go on about their day. No one stopped. Someone probably sat inside, and guess what they probably did? Either recorded it on their phone to talk about how ridiculous it was, or they were responsible mature and they call the police. What you actually do when you witness someone being physically assaulted and you were a stranger, an outsider to the situation. If it is your mother, your sister, your niece, your aunt, whatever the fuck, whatever woman that you know, if you're out with your homegirl, even if you're trying to hit, but she's not letting you hit, if that is your friend and you're actually that person's fucking friend, it is your obligation to protect this woman. When you are a stranger to the situation, it is your obligation to investigate. It is your obligation to have all the facts, because when the actual police, the actual people who can do something about this situation show up, they might lean to you. Hey, sir. Hey, madam, you were here. Can you tell us what happened? They're going to need that. That's going to be just as valuable for you if you are the actual victim. Why antagonize the witnesses instead of getting them to corroborate your story of being assaulted if you're mainly trying to get your assailant caught, unless you're just trying to get some attention?
I know they've gotten cameras out there where the assault happened, but no one's been able to find footage of how it's happened yet. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I mean, something seems weird about it again. Yep. But again, not knowing her past history, we know her past history now, but just not knowing and seeing the situation. If I saw someone hit her with a brick, that's different. But there's still something should be done. You can protect somebody and call the police, or you can go do something about it. But just know there are risks. If you go do something about it, that could be your life too. Because we don't know if the guy got a gun. Now, there used to be a time, I guess, decades ago, you didn't have to worry about getting shot. That somebody would be ready to shoot the fair one. You could actually throw fists with somebody, but that ain't today's world. Let's look at other stories that we've talked about this year with Daniel Penny in New York, where he said people were being harassed on the subway train by that guy. He wouldn't helped out and he went too far and he ended up killing somebody because of that. Or just the cases with Jussie Smollett and Carly Richardson, where we're asked to believe people just because, and it seems we're asked to believe them just because either they're gay or they're female.
He's honest.
Yeah, or they're celebrity. We're asked just to believe them. Believe all people. I don't think that same courtesy is given to other guys, but that is what it is.
Black guys.
Well, yeah, you can say black guys, yeah, but old girls
is still letting people from January 6th off with like probation and shit. Like it's like it's really just black. Because again, if the police would have showed up, if a man did enter, like if it looked like her face was swollen. I don't know. I've never been hit in the face with a brick. I could not tell you what that injury is supposed to look like. So I don't know. This would have had to happen very quick because, like, and I hate to even go down the rabbit hole, but if you listen to the video, there's some people in the video. I did you bring this up to me, Ray? But there's some people in the video saying that you can hear them saying it's like, what happened? Like they went outside when any of this happened. Like you're just randomly recording saying this happened to you, but you're not telling us what happened to you either. You know what I'm saying? So it's. And she said she showed up with a friend. Where was your friend in all of this? Like, why was your friend not consoling you at the hospital? There's just so many questions. I do not believe anyone.
911 didn't get called before the video was shot.
Like, I don't believe a woman should ever be hit in the face with a brick. Ever.
Never.
In circumstances.
Never. Or any object.
Or any object. I do not believe a woman should be physically.
I would say the pledge of allegiance.
Keep saying.
I pledge allegiance. So I swear to God, I do not believe any woman deserves to be hit in the face with a brick.
Any object.
Any object, even if she wants it, even sometimes she don't. Like even if she got a safe word, if I don't.
Lord,
I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, I'm gonna play something she said interesting about guys. LT kind of said it a little earlier, but I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna get your opinion on that. LT's opinion on it. Actually, everybody on the panel, I get their opinion on it and see what they say about it. Please. I'll stop it when she gets to that point.
I hope every Black woman is kissing another Black woman because we are the innate protectors and the providers. We protect societies, we protect communities with our intellectual property, with our lived experiences, with our with our bodies. We're the ones and the two, not even the three. Because men are not providers and protectors, not innately, because they only protect what they possess. But we protect everybody and we provide, baby, okay?
Okay. So yeah, that was the thing she had said. I want to hear you guys' opinion. What do you think about that? Where she says women are innate protectors. Men only protect things that they pretty much just said they own or possess. And do you think that is something? Do you think that's a correct description of men? John, you give me your opinion on that, man. What she said.
I don't. Now, there may be some men out there that are not protectors, providers. They may not, take care of others, or they may not help others out. But there's a wide range of men that will. Like I said, I've been in a situation to protect, and I jumped in, ended up in handcuffs. Situation could have ended where I was in an ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the situation. Now, yes, you should. If I would want someone, if my wife is out there and somebody is, because we live in Baltimore. Well, we live in Maryland, Baltimore. We I know how the guys can get at the gas station. So yeah, I would want somebody to say, all right, bro, just step back. She's not getting rude. She's not being disrespectful. Just step back. Cool. Now, it don't have to get physical. None of this has to get physical. Once again, pledge of allegiance, don't hit it with a brick or any other object. But yeah, I do believe that is just an attention-seeking tactic. And I believe that, yes, there are great men out there who take care of more than just their own. They take care of communities. They take care of people that they see in public, So I don't agree with that statement that she said.
Okay. Sparky T, what you think about her statement about men and women?
I think men and women can both be protectors.
You think it's majority?
I was about to say, but what's funny is she said that men only protect what they own, or basically what's theirs. And as we sit here and we talking about it as a panel, that's basically what you men have said, that y'all will protect your mothers, your sisters, what was yours, what belongs to you. But whoever you don't know, basically, like, well, I have to find out the whole. So I'm saying it's almost like we're saying that what she said was wrong. But as you hear people's responses, the responses are almost split down to what she said, that the men want to protect what is theirs and what belongs to them, and the women kind of want to protect everybody. Now, whether women, I don't think you can say it as a whole for anybody. You can't really speak in generals. We know that's wrong, because nothing applies to everybody of any race, all the men, all the women, none of that. So we know that in itself is bullshit. But I'm saying, when you look at, I'm just saying, even us sitting here now and talking, it kind of split to where the men was willing to protect their own. I'm saying, and even the women were more, well, from a perspective, that might be because we're thinking about it from the woman's perspective. We're thinking about it like, I think John said, he knows how the men can get at the gas station in Baltimore. I know I done been called all kinds of bitches because I don't want to give my number out. I know dudes is quick. Oh, fuck you, bitch. That's okay. See, what I'm saying? Hold up. Watch your mouth. Your mama's a bitch. I'm saying, now me and him is into it. You know what I'm saying? Because you calling me a bitch, your mama's a motherfucking bitch. Now let's get with it from there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with that word like that, but don't think you're gonna be slinging it at me and I'm gonna just stand here and take it all because I didn't want to give you my number. Now I'm looking at you like, motherfucker, that's exactly why I want to give you my goddamn number. Like point for Sneaker, like point for Sparky. That's why she didn't give it out. You know what I'm saying? But men sometimes, come to you and present themselves on a garbage can lid. What's up, Bob? Hey, home. I don't want to hear that shit. I want to know what you're talking about. I don't want you coming to me sounding like you got a mouthful of shit, trying to talk to me and ask my name. What's your name? I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. I'm not that caliber of a woman. You go take that shit to somebody else. You have to know who and what you're dealing with too. So I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but I say that because from my own personal experience, I guess, having men come at me that way for that particular reason would make me want to protect, I want to protect everybody though. Like we've said 1,000 times today, we don't believe that no woman should get hit in the face with a brick or with anything. I don't believe that any woman, right, shouldn't be hit in the face with a brick or anything. I don't believe that any woman should be assaulted, first of all, by no man, period. And I will hope that if my sons saw a woman being assaulted by a man, they wouldn't just stand there and let that shit happen. I would hope that I would not want my sons to just sit by and watch a woman be assaulted by a man. And I get the whole,
even that means that could possibly mean their life. That could possibly mean somebody could kill them.
And I understand that. But it could also mean that if you don't jump in, that woman could be killed.
Yeah.
Like us as a whole, collectively as a universe, as collective and as, collective consciousness, what I'm saying? We collective energy, we all, what I do affects you and so on and so forth. A lot of times we don't think that it does in the short term. But in the big term and in the big scheme of things, what I'm saying? When we're not protected, when we get to a point that we don't want to protect the women in the world, we ain't birthing nothing else without the women of the world. The women of the world are here to birth the things into the universe. I'm saying, and I think that may be some of where Homegirl was coming from, is just our different jobs or whatever. How she said it. But I just think that like I said, I would hope that my first of all, my oldest son used to be a sheriff, so he could have been killed before he was coming home every day, But on no circumstance would I want either one of my sons to sit there and watch the woman get their ass beat by no man. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. And, I would hope that they could read the situation well enough that they don't come to gunplay. But I mean, I know my sons both carry, they shit on, you know what I'm saying? My oldest son teaches like a SEAL class, but even with that, I would not want them to stand around and watch the woman get her ass beat. I'm sorry. I wouldn't. I wouldn't want my foster sons to do that. I wouldn't want my biological sons to do that. I wouldn't, none of that. I would hope that people that are attached to me that I've raised would not stand around watching a woman get her ass beat under no circumstances, truth be told. Even if you just use the situation, you ain't got to throw no blows on her behalf. Even if it's just, okay, y'all, whatever. I would hope that my people would not stand around and watching a woman get their ass beat. Because the same ones that are standing around and watching somebody get their ass beat, that could be their mama getting her ass beat. And you would hope that the boys in the neighborhood or whoever wouldn't allow that to happen to your mom. But if everybody turns the other cheek and if everybody deals with the situation like it's not my problem, then all of them women going to be out here getting beat eventually because none of it is nobody's problem. We don't even fuck with the police as a people. We talk, well, just call the police. That's their job. Let them do their job. I've never heard a group of people talk about call the police so much. But we really don't fuck with them like that. Well, I don't. Let me speak for me. I know me and my people. I'm saying don't really rock with them like that. So that's not my first thing is to pick up the phone and call the police for nothing. But that's just my opinion. It's just what I would like for my sons to do, my people to do. And I would hope that it wouldn't in their life. I would hope that they wouldn't. But I also believe that your day and your time is determined. God knew when you was going to die before you got here. So regardless of whether it was going to be that situation that took you out that night, or whether aneurysm took you out that night, or whether goddamn chicken bone getting stuck in your throat took you out that night, if God said it's your time, then damn it, it's your time. And I believe that you're going to go regardless. So would I rather you go trying to be a hero, or whether you go trying to help somebody else out or trying to do a good deed? If it's your time to go, I would much rather you be going out over some shit like that. Because at least you're standing for something. Because you was going to go at that time anyway. So regardless, if somebody killed him because he helping somebody, God had already said he was going to die on that day and time. So I would much rather it be because he was helping somebody than just some, some menial shit. Truth be told, and that's really how I look at death. So, if they die because they're helping somebody, they was gonna die at that date and time any damn way. And I've walked in my house and found my daddy dead. So, I'm talking real life shit. It hurts, or it hurted, it hurts, whatever, but that was his time to go.
LT.
I feel like we only get that sacrificial with our sons.
Excuse me?
I think we only get that sacrificial with our sons, because I just feel like the womanhood was over motherhood in that situation. Like, I understand you would hope that you raise a child that intervenes in these kind of situations, but we can't and I hear it so much of, that could be your mother, that could be your sister. Every woman out in the world that we interact with is not our family member. Just like every woman does not treat every man as if they are her father or as if they are her brother. They do not. And again, no one has said anything about the fact that this woman slapped a man on the street and nobody did anything about it as well. She was cheered. She did a little twerk. It was happy. I just feel like we supersede sometimes our feelings in the things that we directly relate to supersede what is actually happening, because this is very, very situational. This has now become a should all men protect all women. This is not a all woman. She don't even like men. Why was she around men? Was these men hanging outside of her lesbian bar? Because and again, if she's just happy about being gay, that's awesome. That's amazing. Happy fucking Pride Month when June rolls around. That's great. But it's really like telling people that you don't believe our shit to still be shit for you. It's like you're going to tell me, or she, not you. I'm sorry. She, as her words are, men are not providers and protectors. So why did you act so surprised that no men protected you? It's weird. Like, it's
idea. I don't get it.
Did she also commend the white man that didn't smack her back when she slapped him in the face?
Yeah, I'm about to say, what would she have said if a guy stepped up to protect the guy that got slapped?
Very good point. Like, what if we are in a situation where you see a woman savagely beating a man? Do you defend that man? No, people usually have the thought, oh, he must have done something to deserve that.
That's true.
Anytime we see a man being assaulted, yelled at, whatever, by a woman, we always think that, oh, he must have done something to warrant that. We never think, oh, she's being way too. I literally, again, situational. I walked by, I was in my neighborhood taking a walk, and there was this woman on her porch just talking the most shit about her nephew. She called him a bum. She called him stupid. She said that she couldn't wait to get him, and he couldn't have been no more than 18 or 19 years old. And it's like this is your actual family member, and you're probably on the phone talking to a non-family member about how unequipped this young man is, and that doesn't really breed the kind of person that wants to go out into the world and protect people, let alone themselves. That's why we're in a death culture. We worship death. We love people that die young. We love people that go out and, like that little XXXTentacion boy. He died not giving up his Louis bag with his money in it. Louis bags in exchange for body bags. Drake's a nasty nigga for that. But I digress. We literally champion people going out and inserting themselves into things that they shouldn't, even like a King Von for some, and we're only this way with our sons. We're only this way with young black males. You would never tell your daughter to interject into any situation where she sees physical altercation about to happen. Anyone ever. And I get it. It's because we feel like
that's not necessarily true. Oh, that's not necessarily true.
That's necessarily
that's not true. I was about to say that ain't necessarily true, because the way my family roll, even if it's us girls, if one of us fight, I know y'all bitches ain't sitting around while nobody getting their ass kicked. And I got 100 first cousins. I'm just saying, it is a specific situation, but we're you're talking is in this all. We're quick to send our
Strangers.
sons to be sacrificed. I'm not sending my sons to be sacrificed on shit because I was the one that spoke when I would want my sons to help somebody. I would want my sons to have some goddamn character. I would want my sons to be able to assess a situation. I'm not sending my sons up for the slaughter. I'm the first one. If something happened, I got
But
my
you have to
sons back.
understand that you
I'm
could
saying that
be
we
when
all.
you want them to react to situations like this.
I didn't say just the situations like this. I said that if my sons were out and my sons saw a woman or any, I wouldn't want my sons to watch no dude get the shit beat out of them either, though. But we were talking about women. So what I said is that if my sons were out and saw their woman getting beat, I would hope that they would interject. I would.
Of
and
course,
I feel like
that's not wrong. You're not wrong for that.
And I know I'm not. And even if you told me I was, I would know that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I raised my sons. You know, I feel like a lot of that starts even at home. If everybody always turns an eye, if it's never nobody's problem, none of this shit is nobody's problem ever. We in the hell of a society that we basically we're all out here on our own then. Because nobody's ever willing to help or nobody has any empathy. None of that for anybody. That nobody's ever willing to help somebody. That ain't my situation. Okay, you're right, it might not be. But if everybody always has that towards everything, that's why half of the world is dirty as hell. Because ain't nobody gonna pick up no trash. And they didn't put it down there. Shit, it ain't my trash. Cool. And that's why a lot of cities
definitely fucked up because of people lacking empathy. But the world is also fucked up because people know how to exploit empathy. And we've seen that time and time again. People love to cash in off of people's trauma and what triggers us as people, especially these kind of situations.
Being that we didn't know about this situation. That's what makes it even worse, kind of, because it's like, yeah, she may look like, and she did. She got assaulted. Something happened to her, but she looked like she got assaulted. But the backstory to it, for what she was doing, slapping people, which you could also say she assaulted people too. Let's just say she assaulted the dude that hit her with a brick. Yeah, she don't deserve to get hit with a brick. But if she assaulted the person too, and your son or daughter intervened in the situation that she created, but we don't know that's what kind of makes it ambiguous on should you help all women. I get, there are women out there that is getting beat by a no good, dirty guy, there's an abuser or whatever. I get helping for that situation. But it's hard because you don't know. You don't know if you're actually hindering or helping a situation. In this case, that's what makes it crazy, because it's like, yeah, she don't deserve to get assaulted, but she created that situation. And a lot of time, guys, what they'll try to do is try to put you in a place where you're never in that type of situation. Like, for example, if I were to say anything to her, I was like, don't go slapping people. Don't go saying guys ain't shit up to their face, because you're going to meet the small demographic of people who don't have any self-control, the small demographic of men who don't have any self-control. Don't put yourself in that situation. That's also protection. That's protection for your son or your girlfriend or wife or husband. Even if I'm just putting in a situation, if y'all are in the club and y'all got your husbands with you and you see a guy mean mugging, or you see a group of guys mean mugging, you don't want to send your guy over there to situate. I know it's a different type of thing. You don't want to send your guy over there because something might happen. You would tell him, hey, these guys look like they got an eye out for you. Like, they might want to rob you. You get your man out of there before the situation escalates. That's another form of protection. Not fighting is a form of protection. Defense is a form of protection. And I understand, Sparky, and you're not wrong. I know you're going to say, yeah, I know I'm not wrong. It's a tough situation, though, because I understand, yes, if everyone turns an eye to a situation, then we all get assaulted. But at the same time, with some people, kind of like this one, if you turn your eye to the situation, you also could get assaulted or killed.
People like throwing rocks or throwing bricks and hiding their hand.
Exactly.
So it's like you don't know what to do in this situation. It's like, yeah, you want to help, but damn, you don't want to help if she's the one or he's the one, whatever situation calls that.
Because a bunch of white men decided to protect their women one day back in 1954, and they went and took some woman's son away from her. referring to Emmett Till.
That's a way to look at it too. They thought they were protecting somebody too.
Because even though all it was a whistle, back in 1954, if your skin was black and you whistled at a white woman, you pretty much hit her in the face with a brick.
I want to get to this last time. I'm going to ask Preezy before we get to this other question. What do you think about the video where she's talking about women are innately protectors of the people they love and just people, period? Because she was speaking on everybody. She was speaking of men and women. They innately protect, and men only protect things that they possess, pretty much. What do you think about that, Stephanie? You think that's true both ways?
No, I think it's an equal thing. I mean, I'm gonna tell you an incident. One time, I think a few of us was in Atlantic City. It was a comedy show, and we were outside. The crowd after the show was over, everybody's walking to their cars, whatever. And it was this guy. He was arguing with his girlfriend. He was beating her up. And he picked her up and he slammed on the floor. And a few of us was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Cut that shit out. Get off of her." And he stopped. He stopped hitting her. He said, "Oh, y'all don't know what's it." And one lady was like, "Don't you put your hands on her." And so people started picking up their phone and getting ready to call the cops. But it took that to make him stop. Now, you could tell that he's been probably whipping her ass all the time because he did it in the street. So what was he doing? Because, he literally threw her against the gate and then picked her up and body slammed her. And she still went with him. But the fact that we saw that, we yelled out and screamed, "Get off her, get off her," and he stopped. So I'm thinking that if you do see something like that, and there has been stories where heroes have died, getting caught up in situations. But I think you should do something. I don't think that you should just, "Well, I don't know her. Well, that ain't my problem." I don't think, because like Sparky T said, everybody do that. The world, we all gonna die. And if nobody defend you for anything, you need to say something. I don't care if you pick up that phone, call 911, but you need to get the attention of that person, that you acknowledge what they're doing. I don't care if you videotape it, because that, believe it or not, that might help that person out too. Now she gonna have proof that you've been beating her behind in the street. And yes, we do have to be careful with people today because they carry guns, and next you get killed. But to stand there and not do anything, pick up the phone and do something. Some people just stare, get in their car, drive off. So I don't agree with she's saying all men don't protect, only things that, they only protect things that they possess. I don't believe that, because I've seen situations, like I said, when we came from Atlantic City, there were guys and girls yelling at, "Yo, what you doing?" So that's not true. I don't believe that. But I think we should do something. Whether you pick up the phone, even if you yell out, "Hey," if that's going to distract that person from, to stop, you should do something,
I'll say this. I think she's kind of right about me. I think it's a different era now. I think there was a time where guys would protect all women, maybe within their own race, if they saw something go down. I think we've gotten to a point, again, beaten down by society, telling us that we're not protectors when we're trying to, or getting in trouble trying to protect somebody. And, women saying, like this one in particular, saying, "Y'all don't protect us," or "We don't need you." And then some guys have internalized that and like, "Well, if you don't think I'm a protector, I'm not going to protect you." And it's a virus. You see more people just recording, holding their phone and not doing anything. You're going to get positive likes because you're recording the situation versus actually protecting someone where you're risking your life. So people are going to go to the path that's easier for them. They're going to just sit there and record or look or not do anything. Yeah, you should at least call the police. You can yell at the guy, "Get off her," or something like that. But, I'm saying in a situation, would you send your son in like, "Hey, that woman's getting beat up over there by that guy. go protect him. I don't know if I would do that because my job is also to protect him as well. And I feel like I'm putting him in the fire by doing that. And I'm not being a protector by sending him and do that. But I also, I don't disagree with Sparky, what she's saying. This is, I'm flip-flopping on both sides, but I would be more so to say I'm gonna protect my son from being in a situation like that where he could possibly get killed and the situation could turn around on him and say, hey, no, he assaulted us. And then he got a jail record because something where he was trying to help somebody. That happens.
It sucks that we
took the
gotta
words
add
right out of my mouth. Because I was about to say some of it is you wanna, yes, like how I said, I would hope that my sons would stand around and watch somebody getting whooped on. I really would. I would if the video came out, my sons were standing in the back, I would be looking at them like, really? What the fuck? Like, yeah, I would have an issue with that. But on the flip side, I have raised my sons since they were small.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Where you take your ass to? Where you at? We got no, you know what I'm saying? My kids ain't quick. My kids not quick to be necessarily somewhere where, you know what I'm saying? Wherever it's going down. You know what I'm saying? My sons ain't always in the hood, down in the mix of shit, this and that. They ain't doing that. So, one, they're not in situations where they're a bunch of shit is popping off, or that kind of thing. So, now if it's something that where you see somebody beating somebody up, one, you're not in a situation where it's always something happening. You always, because, I did raise them out. They went to other schools, they whatever. But I still would hope that they wouldn't just stand around and not standing around watching a woman get beat. Just like Preezy was saying, don't necessarily mean that you jump in, or it don't necessarily mean you get physical. It could be calling the police or whatever, but to just stand around and watch that shit happen, no, that wouldn't be okay with me. That's not okay with me to just act like she ain't our mama, so it don't matter. That ain't my mama getting whooped up on, so it don't matter. I don't think that's the right attitude for any of us.
Yeah, I do agree with one thing she said too. Is I do think today, in today's world with guys, not all guys, but I think more so that guys do protect what they possess more so, maybe more than ever, because we don't have a sense of community. So I do think if a guy's mother, daughter, sister, aunt, or girlfriend or wife, the guy will go, he ain't gonna just watch her get beat up and get hit with a brick. Or if he hears about it later on, say, hey, she, mother got assaulted, my wife got assaulted, he gonna do something about it. More so today than I would say 20, 30, 40 years ago, when the community got, destroyed, where everybody just going to do their own thing. I do think she is somewhat right with that guys today, not to say they don't do any, but guys today will protect more so what they possess versus a complete stranger, as far as a woman is concerned. One more thing. I also would say with the women too, I don't think it's also true that they're going to protect strangers as well too, because although she said all women are innate protectors, where were the women at that she was calling on to protect her in that video? Or
where were the women at when she slapped that white man? A group of white women walked by and did nothing to help that white man. Now I get it, white men suck, so I totally get why they didn't help. But still, if women are innately protectors, why wasn't she able to protect herself?
And she had a community behind her too, so I figured they would have helped out.
And I also want to just interject this as well. Oh, I'm sorry, John, you was about to jump in.
No. Go ahead.
We didn't see her get hit with a brick. We keep using the phrase watching a person get beat up, watching a person get hit. We didn't watch any of it. We saw the video after she said she got. So again, if I didn't see any of this happen, none of us saw it. All we're going off of what this woman said in the video hysterically. This happened to me, and she's saying this right here. He asked for my number. I said no. He hit me in the face with the brick. That's not a lot of information to go off of. So what should a person have done? Should they have beat his ass afterwards? Because I would have to know how quick this thing happened. Was there a verbal exchange that led up to, was it really just, hey, can I have your number? No. Brick to the face? Like, was it that quick? Because how was anyone able to interject in that? Like, was it quiet? Was it loud? Like, that's why I think there's details being left out of it, and that's why it's hard to say. That's why you can't just say everyone should protect everyone, because obviously they should. That's kind of that kind of goes without saying. That's kind of redundant to say. People should always be decent people and protect people in need. What if this woman wasn't? What if we don't know what she needed? We
don't know
literally
the other
saw
side
a video of her saying this. We didn't see the brick hit her face. We didn't see her getting beat up. We saw a video of her saying this happened to me because of this.
Why don't we just keep it like you got it and don't nobody protect nobody and everybody just worry about their own and everybody stay in their little bubble. Everybody just stay in their little bubble. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just protect their own. And everybody just worry about their own. And that's all we need to do. But what's crazy is that right there, that mentality right there is what has our people where we are today. Because everybody only want to worry about themselves. Nobody wants to come together collectively and do no shit, even to move us forward. It's that same exact mentality. Almost all other groups of people can come together and move forward on some shit. Not us. Not even things that move us.
I'm sorry, there's no relevance. Not even. We didn't see this woman get hit in the face with
it's relevant. It's definitely relevant because, like I just said, the same mentality that we have about this is the same mentality that we basically have as the people. Everybody does their own thing, worries about their own family,
and
takes care of their own house.
Those of us
We're
who
not
know
going
that and use that for attention ploys. There are those of us who are so divisive that is literally their gimmick. This woman has made damn near $75,000 off of GoFundMe just by playing the victim.
I was disappointed in a couple of brothers one day. If this woman was getting into an argument with a white man, she was a black woman. And the white guy was wrong. He parked in an area that blocked her, and she got upset and went and got him and said, "Listen, you block, blah 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 blah," and he called her every type of name. And there was about 4 black men out there. They didn't say nothing. They didn't say nothing, and he was wrong. I was so disappointed.
They don't fucking care. It wasn't their mama. Wasn't they woman? Wasn't they mama's thing?
The man was wrong. The white guy was wrong, and they stood there, and they knew her. They stood there and said nothing.
But that is a situation that you're applying your feelings from that situation to this situation.
And
they can, if you take all the emotion out.
So you allow this man to curse her out.
Men did. Like I hate to say it,
and you know he was in the wrong, and they just stood there.
Those men did that. Yes.
Let John
have no weapon. He didn't have no weapon or nothing because he worked right then and there.
Let John get in right quick.
I've literally been in situations where women have physically struck me and then threatened to call the police on me. So it happens between people. Some people are just bad characteristically on a micro level. They don't know how to actually interject or how to stop anyone else from being a harm to other people. Some people actually use that to their advantage. I just feel like when it comes to
why are you respecting a sister? What's wrong with you? Don't talk to her like that. They should have said something.
They should have.
Look right.
Every person, but every man can't account for those men that you.
Hold on for a second. Y'all let John get in right quick, guys.
I feel where you coming from, Preezy. Like, yeah, they could have said something. And in that situation, them seeing that entire thing happen, he's blocking her in and everything. Yeah, they could say something. They could make a move, everything like that. Now.
I mean, he called her bitches and everything.
And I understand that. And you could say, don't talk to her like that. Once again, you could get fired down on. But would I step up? Yeah, I would step up. I would say, look, this is a situation you need to step back from. Please move your vehicle. You know, we may have to call the police. I ain't gonna jump in the man's car myself and do it. But at the same aspect, that was a situation. Now that situation I can agree with.
Right, just acknowledge respect. You know, this is a black sister, and y'all letting this man talk to her like that. That was so wrong. Like
I can give you
something.
Now, even branching off of LT, I've been around a situation where it was a female. She got mad at the dude just for saying hi to somebody. Didn't know him, nothing. The girl was in the car with him. She jumped out. I watched the entire situation. I told both of them they need to back up. But in the situation, she got upset with him for saying hi because her attitude got off. She kicked his car. She started busting things up. Check this out. He went to restrain her, and he had people jacking him up.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what happens from afar. And what if somebody else came into the fray and got their ass whooped or got shot or stabbed and they don't know what's going on? She could have been in the wrong.
Right.
I mean, if you see it, that's one thing. I'm just saying this situation with old girl, we didn't see what happened. We just assumed what happened based on her injuries and what she's telling everybody. You know, that's more
emotion.
Yeah. And I get, you know, we should protect women and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, in situations where you don't know the situation.
You can't protect what you don't know. You can't protect anything that you don't know the entire situation. If I walk up, like I told you before, I ended up in handcuffs. And the female turned on me. It was a domestic abuse situation. She turned on me. Told the police that I was the one who was being aggressive.
I wonder, you know, and we're saying we don't protect her unless it's convenient. You know, it's pathetic.
We're using the word convenient and we're using all these other words instead of being actually informed about what the situation is. Like we rationally jump to how we feel about something based upon a previous situation that we were in and apply how we felt in that situation to this new situation without having facts. We don't have sufficient facts, like seeing things. Again, when we see a group of white men jumping on one black man, that is something that we are seeing. When we see a person block in a white man, block in a black woman and call her all types of shit out of her name, that is something that we are seeing. But that is literally the equivalent of your favorite, of someone just waking up and saying, hey, y'all, can y'all believe that the government just ran up in my house and took all my stuff? And because in the video, you see an empty house, you're like, oh, shit, the government just running in people's houses and taking all their stuff now. That's crazy.
Well, I'm gonna give you another example. And I want to hear what y'all think about it. Then we have in this world, we have a thing called Karens. Karens usually elevate a situation that didn't really happen to get attention from other people to help her out, whether it's people around her or the police. In other words, she lies about the situation. Either it didn't happen or she exaggerated what happened. And then if you send someone in to help her out, not knowing what really happened, but listen based off what she said, again, your ass can get in trouble for that. Your son, father, or even if girls went around to help the situation out and not knowing, just based off of her word. I understand, again, what everyone's saying. I don't want nobody to get beat or to watch get beat, but we've seen so many examples with the people we mentioned earlier and people videotaping situations that didn't happen. It turned up being false later on and people got in trouble for it. It's got people a little hesitant to help everybody out. You want to help the person you think you know best. You know their mindset. You know how emotional they get. You know how angry they get. You know if they would even fought at all, whether they would have fought back. They might have just taken the punch. You know that they need help versus complete strangers. We just see so many examples of it now on social media where people have lied on us or people have gotten in trouble. We're hesitant now. And then hearing that we're not needed or we're not protectors, it makes us second think about it. It's like, I'm not going to help because look at this, the situation I could get in.
We also need to pay attention to when it's us using a fraction or section of us against us. There is always a black man trying to galvanize black men against black women. We call them rappers. There are always black women trying to galvanize black women against black men. We call that Candace Owens or shit. Insert any black Republican here. But there are always those amongst us that look to claim money, claim fame, claim some type of clout by pressing these hot button topics to turn us against us. They just feed the agenda that they are a part of. This. It's literally what Jussie was doing when he tried to use his gayness against his blackness. Oh, gay people supported me, but black people didn't support me as much. It's literally what Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade do with their transgender child. Like when she literally came out at an award show to scold Black America. Black America, like Black America are the only people that have issues with transgenderism being pushed onto their children. But she singled out Black America so that Black America could have a conversation about how we hate transgenders and transgenders can lobby against black people and say that black people have always like we really don't pay close enough attention when these people that we don't know that randomly come out of nowhere and just say these things happen to us. We should always we should be optimistic and we should be half full when we approach people. We should approach people with our best intention. You have to account on people not always approaching you with their best intention. And because of social media, we're able to approach hundreds of thousands, if not millions of each other at once with ill intentions. And because we live in the information era, positives have negatives. We also live in the misinformation era. And things that are negative spread a lot quicker than things that are positive. Look how quickly this spread. Look how long we're talking about it. And look how nobody actually wants to talk about the facts of the case that matter. Everyone is still tinging upon that first caption. Should men do this for women? You're right. Other races don't have these conversations. White men don't have conversations about whether they should or should not protect white women. Asians don't do this. Mexicans don't do this.
Nope.
There is something inherently wrong in our community where we're always doing this. And it's because we move with each other like we hate each other. Again, no one is paying attention to the fact that this woman does not like men. You said women are the innate protectors. You are a lesbian. So you gave up your privilege to all men being a protector to you when you said that. The things you put into this universe, you're going to get out. If you're putting negativity towards men into this universe, you're going to get negativity from men. Just like if you were a man and you're putting negativity about women into the universe, you're going to interact with a bunch of negative women. You want bad bitches, you're going to interact with some bitches that are bad for you. It's right there in the fucking title. So when you put across all of your social medias that men are this and men are that and men are not this and men are not that, you you don't reap what you sow, because obviously no one should be hit in the face with a brick. And it's generous that I'm even saying that, because I did not see this woman get hit with a brick.
Or any other object.
Yeah, but it's almost like we being facetious at this point. We keep saying it, almost like, yeah, let's keep saying it.
I would be
still got hit in the
if you would
face
file
with
a police report.
No, I don't believe she should have got hit, but at the same time, I don't know if she should have been protected.
That's funny. Whenever you say something and then you say but, you just canceled out everything you said in front of it. So the whole, I don't know if she should have been hit with a brick, but.
No, I didn't say that. No, that's put
yes,
words.
You did. No, I know it's not. Run it back. Run it back.
No, I said she should have. No. I said she should have been hit with a brick. I said protected. That's a different thing.
You said, but I don't think that. You said, but first. I'm swear if you run it back.
No. I said she shouldn't have been hit with a brick, but I don't know if she should have been protected. That's what I said.
Right. I got you. And you still just said the word but, even when you, I didn't say you said she should have got hit with a brick. Well, I said what I said was when you say the word but, that cancels out everything.
But no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
That's a very absolute way to take a conversation.
With a brick. When I say protected, no, it doesn't. Let me finish what I'm going to say.
It does.
Let me say what I'm going to say. When I say,
I'm still saying what I want to say. Shit.
I say, let me finish what I'm going to say. Let me say what I'm going to say.
What you said. Say it.
Point. Well, stop interrupting me.
Well, go ahead and say what you're gonna say. Don't goddamn talk to me like I'm no little chat like you want to shut me the hell up. Come on now.
Finish what you gonna say. Are you finished?
Are you finished?
No, I haven't started because you keep interrupting.
I'm just
I don't give a damn when you go, when you don't go. Truth be told, you know what I'm saying, it's not nobody just interrupting you. I mean, people been interrupting each other all night, but I guess because you're the host of the show,
can I please finish what I have to say?
Hell up.
Can I please? Nobody told you to shut the hell up, and no one's saying you want to shut the hell up. Let me finish what I have to say, please. What I mean by protected, I don't want her to get hit by a brick. But at the same time, ain't no but, at the same time, I don't know if somebody should go run to her defense, which is after the brick. If she has done something to make someone get hit make herself get hit by the brick, or make herself get attacked by anybody. I don't know what the story is. I don't think no one should get assaulted for any reason. But at the same time, I don't know what happened to start that. I don't know if she stabbed somebody before that happened. I don't know that. I still don't want nobody to get assaulted either way. I don't want nobody to get in a fight. I don't want nobody to have to intervene at all because I don't want a situation to ever happen. So I don't care what she said. I still don't want her to get hit by a brick, but I still would like to know what happened before. Did she stab somebody? Did she shoot somebody? I don't know. I'm going off of what she's saying, and what she has said so far has been a lie. She's been caught in quite a few of them. I don't know her, and that's the basis of this conversation. Someone you don't know, someone's character you don't know. How do we know they're telling the truth? How we know they didn't put themselves in a situation to where they did get hit back? I don't know if she hit somebody in the brick before she got hit. I don't want either person to get hit by a brick is what I'm saying. But I don't know what happened to make that situation even happen. I'm still going to stand by that. I don't want anybody to get assaulted. I don't want anybody to get in a fight. I don't want anybody in a situation where they can possibly get hit by a brick or shot or stabbed or even verbally abused. I still don't know the story, though. That's the thing I'm saying is if she is a stranger, it makes it that much harder because some people do lie and some people tell the truth. But it's better. It's easier for someone I do know. The proclivities, of family members and wife, husband, daughter, grandmother, and all that are easier known than someone I do not know. Still don't wish you get hit by a brick. I wish that never happened still. But you still got to put yourself in a situation where that does not happen. What do you do after is what my thing is. You know, if you see her walk up to you and say she got hit by a brick, it's hard to know based off of a complete stranger. Should I go up and go attack the person that she said hit her based off of her story? And I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. If I see her get hit with a brick, that's a different story. Now I can see what happened. Now I know what to do, whether it's call the police or intervene. Seeing is a much different thing than not seeing. Seeing is believing.
But even if that's the case, I mean, you're not a superhero. I mean, you don't know what that person has. Maybe the best thing to do is to call the police and let them handle it, you know?
That lady from men. She didn't like she because the first thing she did was pick up her phone to talk about how the men did nothing. Why not pick up your phone to call the police? Why is like we're ignoring a lot of things about this situation because it's not even a case because she doesn't want it to get as far to a case because there's not going to be anything to be invested. At what point do we say we can't just believe everyone? Like at what point do we just we can't just believe the first thing we hear without hearing more? Like we're literally just going based upon what we should do if this situation happened. And the situation didn't even happen according to our eyes, only to our ears.
How come no one saying anything about her slapping people on her own? Where was the energy at when she was slapping guys?
Is that shown? Is there a video showing that?
Yes.
I'll show you that. Hold on, I'll play it right quick.
Like even as this
So I
moment,
hope you
as
catch
like
the girl
honestly,
tonight, because I hope I do. And don't forget, before there was feminism, it was lesbians who were living those lives without worried. They were decentering men. So before there was feminism, there were lesbians. Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a brick is. Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, because I would have given him my number. And all y'all watch. What you want to see that? What you want to What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
All right, she hit that white guy.
Yeah.
No. There's another
Was she
video.
the guy that hit her with the brick?
No, there's another video where she walked up to a guy. Yeah, there's another video where she walks up to a guy in an outside restaurant.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm slapping you because you got white privilege and I don't. And she hauls off and slaps him.
And nobody
then,
came
once
to the
again,
defense of the guy.
and guess what? She did that on camera.
She twerks.
She did that to be seen. She did that because she knew that she lives in a world where I can do this to I can definitely do this to a white man as a black woman. But she knows that she also lives in a world where you can just do this to any man.
And why you think that is? Because that was white people she was slapping too. So it ain't just a black and white thing. That's everybody thing. Why you think people were so, I don't want to say afraid, but yeah, you can put that word out there, afraid to go help that guy out? Because probably one of the things they're going to say, well, he's a guy, should be able to take the slap, or you don't want, what you going to do to another woman? You're going to restrain her, then you're going to look bad like you attacked her. And then she might file charges against him for trying to restrain her. So what can you do as a guy but sit there and take it? Would y'all have called
been arrested for any of these things? Like, she literally feels so comfortable that she slaps people in public and then posts it to her social media.
But be honest, would any of y'all call the police on her for slapping that white guy?
Word.
Would you repeat that?
Would anybody have been, if you saw her slap that white guy, would any of y'all call the police?
I would have told them you should call the police. Yes, I would say you should call the police on her.
Would you have told the white? But see, that's the thing. You would have told the white man he should have called the police. You wouldn't have. Would you have called the police for him? Yeah. Would you have stopped would you have stopped that woman from assaulting this man unprovoked?
Oh, I would have told him you should call the police on her.
Would any of y'all restrained her for slapping us?
I don't know.
Oh, he'll be a man.
You restrain her.
Man, he's a man.
She yells out, he's harming me, and then you go to jail.
Right. That's all it takes.
Call the police. I'll just been like, Mister, you should call the police. You should call the police for slapping you.
And that's more of just telling a man.
If he wanted to, he could have knocked her out. Please.
Yeah. But a lot of this is a talk mentality.
So what?
It's just a talk mentality.
Right. He could have knocked her out. So why does she have the mental bandwidth? Why does she want to assault people?
Press charges when she slapped them?
Because they make it look cool on the internet.
Yeah.
Men don't press charges because of the exact mindset of he's a man.
Why don't you call the police when she put her hands on you?
Because men are the literal exact mindset of he's a man. He can take it. People don't view assault from women to us as seriously.
Well, that's
almost like when
somebody put your hands. I don't care who you are. If somebody put your hands on, somebody put their hands on you, you should call the police. I don't care if you male or female.
I think you should call the police too. You should not record a video.
I don't care if you're a man or not. You call the police because you're protecting yourself.
Because how would we have looked as a people? How would we have looked as a people if this white man picked up his phone and was like, "Oh my God, y'all, I just got slapped in the face by an N-word woman. I can say it because she slapped." Like, what if? How would we have looked if he would have pulled?
People have done it. If you watch the internet, oh, you're going to jail. You put your hands on me. I've seen it. I've seen white men do it. Oh no, you're gonna go to jail. Not gonna get you. I'm not on video.
Other men.
No, that's not true. I've seen videos of men and women get into an incident, and the men pick up the phone and said, "Now you're going to jail. You assaulted me. I'm calling the police." They didn't touch them. They called the police.
Okay. Would you send somebody to restrain her? Because that was also the conversation where we're talking about men going to restrain the men that hit that woman with the brick. On the other hand, would you send women or a guy to go restrain that woman from slapping that white guy?
Why would I do that?
Because y'all the natural protectors, as that woman has said.
I'm out there having a drink. I pick up my phone and call the police. I ain't going out there. Listen, if it's bad, if it's really bad, I'm gonna call the police, and that's it.
I can't be mad at that answer.
Check this out. What if she walked up and slapped your brother?
Huh?
What if she slapped your brother?
Oh, that's different. That's family.
Yeah, I get it. That's
what
Rewind
that. Say that again.
That's different. That's my brother. But you would tell a stranger, you should call the police.
Call the police. But I might call the police. Listen, you got to understand my background. I'm going to call the police regardless. I'm not going to mess up my situation. I have to call the police to protect me, to protect my
shit. That gets particular to you. She just literally picked up her phone and said all these black men were here and did nothing.
Call the police.
She don't know what if these niggas was on parole? And you
I'm not on duty. I'm not on duty. I'm not.
What if they had a job interview the next day and you want them to get out here and stack food?
Ain't nobody trying to be no day. I ain't trying to be no day.
That pertinent to you. You don't want to intervene because you may mess up something you have going on for you. But in that situation, she turned the camera and was like, "These men should have messed up whatever they have going on for me, even though I am a stranger to them."
Call the police. I ain't got time for it. I'm out here having a drink with my boo.
And then I just want to point out, you heard where it was being muted sometimes in the video when the people were saying we weren't out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did the video need to be doctored and muted like that?
I didn't even know it was doctored like that.
Run it back, like literally the first response is, "We wasn't out here."
They asked what happened.
Yeah, one dude said what happened, and I think I heard a woman in the background saying we wasn't out here.
Even when he slapped the white guy, he should have called the police.
But see, that's what we've been trying to say. You got more to lose for a stranger you don't know. White guy getting slapped, just call the police. But to intervene, try to wrestle with them, we don't know the situation. Now, if someone attacked your brother or your family member, he's like, "Oh, I know my brother. I know he didn't do that. So there's no reason he should have got attacked."
Lose there too.
But see, you never think about this.
It don't matter. It's not the law. So even if you jumping in with your family, you can still go to jail.
I understand that.
You never think about it.
You're not the law. You're not the law.
I understand it. I'm not saying the law. I'm talking about the character of the person you're protecting. Like, if she said your brother hit her, and you're like, "Nah, my brother ain't hit him," and you're more likely to go help because you know your brother's character versus someone you don't know is what I'm saying. Not the law particularly. Yeah, he could still get in trouble. But I'm saying you know your brother's character and whether he needs to be protected or what he didn't do or what he said he didn't do. You can stand by his word because you know his character versus someone you don't know. That's all I'm saying.
But what if your brother's in the wrong?
He could be. And then you don't protect him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if your brother is actually in the wrong and you defend him?
If your brother is O.J. Simpson and you don't protect him, you know he slices and dices, then you're like, okay, I'm gonna take.
The glove didn't fit, so they had the.
Oh Lord.
The glove didn't fit, boo. The glove didn't fit, so they had to quit.
They had to quit.
Man, OJ did that shit. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. He did it. But when you're rich, it doesn't matter. When you're rich, it doesn't matter. So that's what we learned from that.
Listen, the only one that knows the truth is the dog. And the dog can't talk. The dog saw everything.
Damn.
The dog saw everything. That's the only key witness was that dog.
AC saw everything. And If I Did It is a bestseller, is what I will say.
Best thing to do is call the police. Trust me. You don't want to go to jail for nothing. I don't care who's right, who's wrong. You don't want to go to jail. Not worth it.
All right. Let's move on this subject. Let's go to the next
subject for 2 days.
I know, right?
Right.
This one is a little bit softer, I guess. We're going to go to the leave it or medicated part of the show. When we go to this part, leave it if you agree with the subject premise, or medicate it if you disagree. And you tell us why you disagree and what you can do to fix the situation. So first story, what we got is there's a teacher, not sure what school she's at, but this teacher loves to give out kisses and hugs and high fives to her students and to his encouragement throughout the day. Some people agree with this is good. We're giving confidence to the kids and letting them know they did a good job. And then there's other people think it's gross that a teacher is kissing the kids on the lips and stuff like that. I'm going to play the video. Yeah. He said, well, I'll play the video so you get a better understanding of what you're about to talk about. And then we're going to give each other's opinion about what happened. How you feel about the situation. Find the video right quick. Video is always disappearing on my lap. Kids need love too, but maybe it is being expressed in a totally bad way. Let me download it again then. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. We'll show it that way. If it'll let me do it. Bear with me. I'm trying to get the video to pull up.
What was the video? What you had?
It was the teacher that was dissing the students or whatever.
Dissing the students? Like she had bars?
No, kissing the students.
In the mouth.
Yeah, in the mouth. Yeah, that.
Yeah. Man or woman?
It was a man.
Teacher or teacher? And what grade? What grade, so I know how big my ew is going to be?
It looks like 3rd grade.
It's gross.
Okay, let me see this. See if it'll play from here.
Oh, nasty white man.
So they get to choose which one they want.
Yeah. Someone to hug, high fives, or to get a kiss.
No, that's inappropriate. They wake up with a bump.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Put this. Okay, so we're gonna go around the panel here. Okay, so LT, you'll go first. What do you think about? Well, let me put the clock up here. Oh, it's up here. What do you think about this situation? Leave it if you agree that these students should get this type of encouragement. You know, when they do a good job or when they get into the school, they get welcomed by their teacher with a kiss, high five, or hug? You like this thing for students?
Go!
Practicing more of what the fuck I'm preaching. I gotta ask questions. What country is this in? Because different countries have different circumstances. That sounds gross. That sounds weird. But
This is America.
I obviously you saw that they using a chalkboard. Still.
But it was Africa.
So it's definitely in Africa. The thing that bothered me about it is I could be okay with this maybe being a cultural thing, maybe just something I'm not from that part of the world. This is their tradition. This is what they do. Kids kiss their teachers in the mouth, but I didn't see any little girl children coming up and kissing this very attractive young female teacher on the mouth. And it was just little boys. So to me, it was very suggestive in the way of, if you're good in class, you might become teacher's assistant. So yeah, that's very off-putting. I need to know exactly. Yeah, so I guess my question is, do they do this in their culture? And just going off of how I feel about it, I think it's really weird, because if you flip the script on it, and this was a attractive young male teacher kissing little girls in the mouth, that would be some Jared from Subway, can you take a seat over there, sir? I have the chat logs type of conversation that we would be having. I think we allow these kind of things to go on because sexuality from women is always more accepted, and we're really okay with pushing that on young boys at a very, very young age. Ironically, for us to be afraid of them when they grow up and become men that, approach us and ask them for their number. But when we do shit like this, have them attracted to women, have their reward for doing well being interaction with women in a very intimate way, because kissing is intimate, especially when it's not with a family member. And I'm not even going to bring into how she was dressed, because she looked very nice. It was a very nice outfit. It was as modest as she could be. But yeah, little hot for teacher, y'all know that Adam Sandler movie, motherfucking goddamn, where he's like a 13-year-old boy. What was it called?
That's my boy. That's my boy.
That's my boy. That type of shit. We're cool with that when it's men. We're cool with that when it's little boys, because we're always, boys will be boys. Yeah, it's cool. Have some sex when you're like 11 or 12. But again, opposite end, if this was an 11, 12-year-old little girls being kissed by their 25, 30-year-old teacher man, we would want to burn down this country. And I hate to say that while I'm wearing this bandana.
All right. Preezy, I'll let you go next. Do you agree with how she handles these kids, giving them kisses, hugs, and high fives in the morning, or you disagree, medicate it, and tell us why?
Are you ready? Go!
Medicated. It was inappropriate. I don't mind the high fives or the hugs, but the kisses on the lips, no. You got things out there today like cold sores, and it's very easy to catch. You catch it by kissing someone that may be infected, and sometimes people may not know they're infected. So you're giving these kids kisses on the lips. As a parent, I would not want my child to kiss anybody on the lips. You shouldn't be doing that. So high fives, yes. Big hugs, awesome. On the lips, no. It was very inappropriate, and I don't know if the parents accepted that. I'm hoping that they don't, but no, you don't do stuff like that. I don't care if they boys or not. You don't kiss your teacher on the damn lips. Your teacher is there to educate you, not for you to be sitting up there. And then what's next? What are you, letting the kids, what are you teaching them? That's appropriate? Next, little boys running around, they're going to be kissing the girls. Everybody going to wake up tomorrow morning with a bump. No, it's inappropriate. Hugs, big hugs, you did good, awesome. High fives, yes. Even hand claps. I've seen videos where the teachers do special hand claps with the students. High fives or whatever. No. It's not appropriate for a male teacher. It's not appropriate for a female. So, that's it. You can hit the bone. Ba-boom.
Oh, okay. I'll skip it up. There we go. All right, Mr. John the Icon. Do you want to leave it? You agree with how she's handling the students at this school?
Nah, you
Or do you
ain't
want
got
to
to finish
medicate
the rest of that, man. Nah,
What's
I
that?
don't.
Oh, you
Nah, I
don't.
don't agree.
Are you ready?
That's
Go!
why.
All right, I don't agree because it seems like it's grooming, like you leading them into something. You know, it's a very inappropriate act because if there was a male or female teacher kissing my son or daughter, you know, I'd be in the back of the school. You know, I'd be having a conversation with the principal and also the teacher. They may not have a job on Monday. And just like Preezy said, you know, somebody might get the bump or anything else. You have too many situations where this is accepted, where this is brought on, and it's just not a good thing. It really isn't. You know, um, it's an unacceptable act. I'm sorry. High five, dap it up, give him that. You know, I'll even take the hug. Give him the hug. But no kissing. You know, you're there to inspire my kids, not to groom my children. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, I don't understand why the school system would even allow a situation such as this. You know, what if little Tommy was doing that? Be in the back of the class, kissing Susie, or kissing some girl. What they gonna do? They calling the parents the next morning. But Miss Such and Such kissed me. So would that be acceptable? Nah, I wouldn't even. Hands down, cut it. Nah, I don't accept that.
All right.
Now give it a big ear.
Big ear. All right. Sparky T, do you want to leave it, which means you agree with what the teacher was doing for the students, or do you want to medicate it? And if you, since you disagree, tell us why you would disagree with the situation. Medicated.
Medicated.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
I don't think that any teachers, male or female, should be kissing on children. You even got to be careful with the hugs, you know, and different things like that. We live in a society such today, people think they slick. You know, sometimes you might have a teacher put their hand on the kid's shoulder, you know, or caressing their shoulder, or rubbing their back, or rubbing their knee, you know, put their hand on their leg, or rubbing their leg. You know, it's not just the kiss, but the kiss definitely. But that's why I say even with hugging, you got to be careful with it because it can be done inappropriately. You know how there's a church hug, and then there's that oh I want to get with you and fuck the shit out of you hug. Those are two type of different hugs. You
What is
know,
that?
so even in that, you know what I'm saying? A teacher hugging somebody, now they have to use their discretion and what they think is okay. It's not too much, you know. And if they weren't hugging or kissing the kids at all, then there wouldn't even be that room for a gray area. You know, you got to be careful. And when you allow anybody to touch the kids in any particular way, you know, you opening the kids up for things to happen to them. Or, like he said, for them to be groomed, that it's okay for somebody to touch you that you don't really know, for them to be groomed that you should let somebody kiss you, whether you want them to kiss you or not. You know, that's where little girls get to where they don't think it's okay to say no. They might have wanted to say no to a teacher kissing them, but they really didn't think that they could. You know, even in the Boy Scouts, you know, they offering them treats and bringing them to their house and having other play dates and stuff like that. And it might have looked like it started out innocent, but they all had, you know, an ulterior motive. So I think that, you know, we got to be careful. We're the stewards of the children, and I don't think that you can just be letting anybody kiss and hug on your kid like that.
What does that hug look like, by the way? The one you were talking about, the second hug.
That second hug is, listen, when you know when somebody hugging somebody and they not doing like the church hug where they other part, their bottom half is stuck out. It's where
Oh,
they
Mm.
where both of they
oh,
everything where everything below the belly button is touching with the hug.
Oh
And you know
wow.
what I'm saying? Hey, where they holding on to each other, both back, act like they don't know where they want the other one to let go and all that shit. That's different than a regular church.
Mm.
it's an all
Yeah.
pelvis rub hug.
You might have
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
look.
one of them hugs that shit about to set it off. Goddamn, if you get one of them kind of hugs, you know what it is later on. They calling you back,
Mm.
that kind of shit. Yeah, that's but you
That
have
is
to you have to be
that is a church hug. That is a
careful.
mm,
That's different than the church hug.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I'm gonna need
Church
that to
hug is
not
when you
be
turn to
the
the
church
side.
hug. I was just, yeah, that's why I said church hug is when you turn
Oh,
to the side. You just kind of lean out a
some
little
of
bit
them.
and do the pat on
Yeah.
the back. You
Some
know what I'm
of them.
saying? There ain't nothing touching. And the church
The
hug
other
is the real
hug is
church
the I'm about to see you later on tonight.
That be
Right. That
happening.
other hug is that oh yeah, that happens in the church.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
see, but you
Sometimes,
know the real church hug though. You know that real
yeah.
church hug. It be, you kind of lean your head in and hug and pat on the back, but your legs don't really move. Ain't nobody's bottom part getting closer. Somebody doing that hug and they pulling you in and embracing and they get the caressing and so okay, that's a different kind of hug that we ain't in church no more.
I agree with that. All right, so I guess I'm medicated
Are
too.
you ready? Go!
Yeah, for pretty much all the reasons you guys have said. Yeah, I'm sure she did it with innocent intentions, and because maybe they don't feel like they're getting the same type of love or attention at home. This is a way to encourage them to, be active in the classroom. If they do something good, we just used to give a gold star. But I can remember, it hasn't been that long, but it feels like that long. I can remember my elementary teachers doing that. Maybe not kissing on the lips, but they might kiss you on the forehead. They might hug you, might give you a high five. Of course, you can do that anywhere. But they would almost be like mothers in the school. But unfortunately, you don't know everybody. All it takes is one bad person to mess it up for everybody. So we can't take that kind of danger that you may not be a good person. You may be an unfruitful person and try to ruin the child. But I do think there are teachers who would like to do that and share themselves with their students in a good way anyway. But we've seen so many bad stories, we don't want to do it. And so that's just a way to protect our kids, is not to put them in a situation where it could possibly be a bad student. I mean, a bad teacher, that is. So yeah, high fives, maybe hugs, but kissing on the lips, that's a little bit too much. And again, could depend on the culture, but out here, at least in the United States, I think that would probably be frowned upon. I wish you could do that, but like I said, all it takes is one bad teacher to mess it up for everybody. Kind of like corporal punishment, because corporal punishment was a thing when I was a kid too. I wish that teachers could do that, but then you got that one bad teacher who's going to love when a student gets in trouble, and he's going to take it too far and beat your kid out of anger, not because it was a punishment. So unfortunately, yeah, that's what happens. We don't know people's intentions behind possibly good motives. And this is the same thing with this teacher here.
Some of these kids bad as hell too.
That's true. But that's why they don't protect the student. Well, I say that's why they don't respect the teacher a lot of times, because they know they can get away with a lot. And sometimes it's not the student's fault. Sometimes the teacher's fault. But that's why, I would trust, that's why some people want to homeschool now, because they can't trust these teachers out here or strangers out here. You never know how somebody else is going to treat your kid. You hope that people have enough honor and they'll treat your kids like they would treat theirs. Or maybe they're like mommy dearest and they treat their kids bad too.
Yeah. I was going to say, the thing of it is, if you start allowing this to be an okay behavior and something that the kids see as okay and not to kind of be suspect of it, does that flow over into other places than school? Does that flow over into scouts and church? And
Right.
now with the friends at the friend's house, and you know what I'm saying? If you allow the teachers to kiss them in the mouth, you almost tell them, okay, everybody.
Kiss your son in the mouth?
Say what?
Would you allow your friend's mama to kiss your son in the mouth? Hell no.
Hell nah, nobody better not be kissing my son in the mouth. Unless they want to get punched in their fucking throat. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Everybody that know that. You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody comes to my house. My kids don't go to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm very selective about where they go and different things like that. Cause look, I only got a little bit of patience. I don't got no time for no bullshit. And when it comes to my kids, you about to see a whole nother person. So just like we were talking about them other people, you don't put them in them situations. I don't put me in them situations. Hence, my kids don't get to go as much as they probably would have with another parent. But that's okay. It's my job to protect them. And I feel like keeping them from other people's houses, especially when I don't know the parents and ain't going over. I don't know them, but I don't really know them. Nah, you ain't going over there. I don't know what the hell they do after dark, behind closed doors, or when they think y'all kids is asleep or whatever. Hell no.
How far would you let teachers go? Would you let them give them a hug?
It got to be one of them church kind of hugs.
Okay.
But you know, even in that, you know, then you're trying to make a kid, you know, try to figure out whether it was a church hug or another hug. They have little people. You know what I'm saying? They only got this big of a strike zone, so did somebody really hit them in an inappropriate place? Or did somebody? I'm saying that's why I say if you just keep your damn hands to yourself, keep giving my kids stickers. Just give them some more stickers.
It's almost like when somebody tell the child, "Oh, that's just your uncle. Go ahead, sit on his lap."
Yeah, that shit. No, that shit.
But he stroked my back bad. I feel uncomfortable. Right. Go sit on his lap. He don't mean no harm.
I sat on his lap and he didn't bother me. Well, he did bother me that one time, but other than that, everything was good. Then y'all all meet up at Thanksgiving and tell all the stories of how he messed with both of you in different generations.
See?
Right.
Generational pain passed down.
Yep.
All right. So
what country was it in? I really would like to know exactly what country in the continent it was in.
I don't know. I thought it was America. And I try to find a story and I can't even see where
it is. Again, like what if we're looking at like we're westernized? What if we're looking at it like that? And they really like what if there's gonna be a whole bunch of angry Africans, angry Ghanaians, angry Nigerians, and they be angry bitch. Angry Senegalians and shit. Actually, my teacher kissed me in the mouth and I get best grades ever. I'm canceled for that. They mad at me for that now.
It could be innocent. I say if this was in America, though, we wouldn't accept that, though. More than likely, even though it has innocent intentions.
Would they not? Would they?
It depends.
Yeah.
I think some people would accept it and some people wouldn't. Yeah. The other thing that you notice from the video, you see how it seemed like she was letting the kid, I don't want to say take the lead, but you see how some kids she kissed, some she hugged, some she gave pound to. Like some kids didn't seem like they felt comfortable with her kissing them, so they ain't even go up there to get ready for no kiss. You know, if you notice the one little kid, the one that she kind of dapped up, they kind of stood back. Like, I don't want you to kiss me. So she kind of dapped them up as opposed to, you know, but then you're putting it in the kid's court. Now the kid got to tell the teacher whether they feel comfortable getting the kiss or not. Like, that's some bullshit.
She might, I mean, women are just a lot more intuitive. She might know that some of them little boys is gay. And, you know, Africa don't let that gay shit fly.
So she kisses them so to make them feel better?
No, she gives them dap. Those are the ones she gives dap to.
Oh, well, they were picking, though. I mean, they were picking on the boy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're picking, that's, hey, look, we talked about, because, again, I don't know I don't know where this came from. Again, I'm looking at it as a Westerner that has actually never been over there, and I'm trying not to incur the wrath of Nigerian scammers.
Well, go on vacation over there.
Yes,
I plan to though.
I've been to Africa.
I'm gonna let you.
I've been to Africa. When I was there, I ain't seen no whole bunch. There wasn't nobody kissing no kids in the mouth. That shit wasn't going on. So it wasn't wherever I was at. And I
With
was in
Nigeria?
several countries. No, I was in Burundi. I went to Rwanda. We went to Ethiopia. Like, wasn't nobody kissing nobody in the mouth. Wasn't nobody kissing no little kids in the mouth like that. That shit was not going on.
That was
And
a
I've been
practice
there.
run.
So
So
It was
how
a
do we
trial
stop
run.
teachers from kissing our kids?
It was a trial run. They were trying to adopt it.
yeah.
We have
that
seen the white
must have been
people
before
do
my
this.
time.
Let's try.
All right, let's go to the next subject matter. Anybody a fan of Glorilla?
Mm,
Come on now, we got some Glorilla
Right.
fans in here too.
no, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest. I don't dislike her. I'm just not a fan.
Come on, man. Well,
No.
she
I
might
won't.
be a fan of you. Well, maybe not, but she's giving some advice to the young ladies in their 20s and how they should handle their 20s. The leave it or medicate it, you'll see once you see the video, but the leave it or medicate it is, do you agree with her advice once you see the video, or do you disagree? Medicate it and tell us why you don't agree with it. But all right, let's play the video.
Ladies, how on you? When I'm gonna call my twin, and I just want to let y'all know, be toxic for the rest of your 20s. You only get one life. Live your toxic 20s. You never get to be 20 years old, 21, 22, 23, 24, none of that ever again in your life. Be toxic, because don't get in your 30s thinking you could just go slashing tires and doing all this crazy. Too old for that now. You too mature. Be toxic for the rest of your 20s. And if you delusional, turn it up a notch. Enjoy the rest of your 20s. You only get to do it one time.
All right, so based off of that advice,
What is she talking about?
being toxic in your 20s, being ratchet, whatever you want to call it.
And delusional.
Or you can call it
I was wondering
delusion.
what the hell
Turn
she
your
was saying.
delusions
Be
up a
what?
notch.
Be toxic.
Fucking. Her teeth.
Me and Preezy both
Yeah,
like,
but-
what? What she say?
Exactly, Sparky. I didn't even know what she talking about.
That's why I said that she's saying be toxic. Be
Yeah.
toxic
Yeah,
for
she's
the rest
saying
of
be
your
toxic. It took me a minute to catch that. I thought she
Yeah, I
was
had to
talking
catch it. That's why I was like, what's she
toxic something.
saying?
Oh, y'all didn't catch her accent?
Yeah.
No, it was the
The
teeth
accent.
that her teeth
Oh,
done.
okay. I thought y'all meant what you meant. Oh, so you didn't catch her accent. Yeah,
She
she
got-
was saying
Yeah,
that.
we were trying to understand what she said. It ain't even about, not understanding what she just shit. Can you understand what she say?
She got cheek implants.
Yeah, she was saying basically
Goddamn.
do what you want in your 20s, sleep around, get high,
Yeah, I
get
got
drunk,
it.
whatever.
Tires, bust windows. That's what she talking about.
Yeah, get it out
Yeah,
your
I got
system
it.
early because YOLO.
Jail, do time.
Yeah. So,
Go to jail.
based off of that.
Catch the first F, all that shit.
Yeah.
But some bullshit is when she initially came out, she said some shit like how she was able to lock in and actually succeed was by knocking out distractions, not being on no partying and bullshit, really having a set amount of goals that she wrote down and stuck to, having a routine that she practiced. And now I just think it's funny she got your new little teeth. You know what I'm saying? You probably got you got your teeth and your forces on. You feel clean. You feel smooth. And you're gonna tell people to be toxic for like 20, that's at least 5 years.
All her 20s.
Hold on, let's go. We're gonna do the leave it or medicated on here so everybody get to speak.
Oh, you already got mine. I just
Right,
okay, go ahead.
John Icon, we'll let you go first, man. Leave it if you agree with it. Medicate it if you disagree. Which one do you want to do? Leave it or medicate it?
I medicate that shit.
You're medicated. Tell us why.
Because be toxic. Really? First, you need to learn the word toxic. Secondly, be toxic, cut tires, bust windows, turn it up. And that's just all wrong. You're
ready?
You're promoting a negativity. You are promoting a big time negativity, a big time negative mindset. Now what happens once again, and I'm sorry to go back to this, but what happens when you being toxic in your toxic 20s and you end up in a situation where you toxic to the wrong person and the person whether it's female or male, come after you. You know, nah, I don't promote that. I believe stay focused, stay pointed, get your mind right, and just run it. Just run that gauntlet. I'm sorry. Being toxic is too horrible. When the hell did this toxic 20 stuff come out? So I'm sorry, but you can blow the bomb on this one. That's a dumbass thing.
All right. That is an explosive opinion.
Oh.
All right. Preezy, I'm going to come to you next. Do you want to leave it or medicate it?
Medicate it.
She's going to medicate it. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
First of all, it wasn't a positive message to these young people out here. It was just silly. You're telling people to be toxic. Why would you promote something like that? You know, so in other words, you just being toxic is nothing. It's not a good word. So you're telling people to whatever she said, because I couldn't really understand her. Slash tires and be wild and go crazy. And first of all, it's inappropriate. You know, it's not the right message that you want young people to take heed of. Whatever happened to stay in school, obey your parents, do the right thing, go to college, and even if you don't go to college, get a job, take care of your kids or whatever. Something positive, you know. I think it was a stupid message. You know, now when people go out there and do something wrong, what the first thing gonna say? Well, Glorilla told me. I'm only following what Glorilla said. And not to say that they should, because everybody have a mind of their own. And you're not even preaching about self-love. Like she's not making no sense. It's okay when you're young, you want to go have fun and stuff like that, but why be toxic about it? She could have said, hey, guys and girls, go out there, enjoy your life, you know, stay in school, do the right thing. Because when you do the right thing, you'll get blessings behind it. And, you know, just keep going. I don't understand. These young people are just ignorant. I think the 20 and 30-year-olds, not all of them, but a majority of them have just lost their mind. So you want the persons to go out there, go wild, get high, do stupid things. Then stupid things happen. Sleeping around, catching STDs and all this stuff. So the message was ignorant.
All right. LT, do you want to leave it or medicate it?
Damn, what is the, like, how did... I feel like leaving it and medicated are the same thing, because
no, leaving it
alone.
You agree with it?
I don't. I'm medicated.
All right, go ahead.
Are you ready? Go!
I wanted to leave it because I want Gloria to leave me alone. I don't want to hear nothing that she got to say. That's her name. Is it Gloria? Hallelujah?
Glorilla.
No, but her real name is like Gloria.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
So yeah, I want her to leave me alone.
What?
And yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible advice. And I feel like we're in this cycle of culture. Yeah, we're in this era of culture where the music industry is really dying. To be honest, people aren't popular because of their music. Not for real. Like not for actual bodies of work. We're not buying that anymore, and artists have to do what they have to be larger on social media to be relevant, so that you could actually maybe show up to their concerts and do wild shit. They have to do something trend worthy, and sometimes that just leads to a lot of misguidance that they spread to their fan base. I really don't want to be mean to her, like, because I don't even know how old she is, but I assume within her early 20s. But it is incredibly irresponsible to wield that kind of social influence and tell your fan base to be such negative things. We're already comfortable calling ourselves negative things like niggas and bitches and pimps and gangsters and hoes and shit. Like we're comfortable calling ourselves things like this. and toxic, delusional. These are not assets to us as a people. And for her to be in the position, like, and I don't even want to say what position she is, because she is only an entertainer, and we shouldn't give these people that much power. But it's sad that our entertainers know how much power they have, and they use it in ways like this, because the younger generation that does not have the mental and emotional growth and maturity to truly understand what that time is for, will just say, well, fuck it. Yeah, I'm only doing this once. I got to do it as fun as I possibly fucking can.
All right. Sparky T, do you want to leave it or medicate it? Might be busy in the background. Sparky, you there?
I'm here. As soon as I was going to say something, I hit the button to make the phone cut off. I was like, shit. But yeah, I'm here. I think that we should medicate it.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
I think that it should be medicated because I think that's some dumbass advice. I mean, I get that we only live once, but you only live once. You only got one life to fuck up. You only got one life that you can do good with, or you can jack that shit up with. And it's like she got these people in their 20s, believing that it's okay because they in their 20s to go out here and be ratchet or toxic, as she's saying. By the time they get finished being toxic in their 20s, they ain't gonna have shit to look forward to in their 30s because they already got their life so damn jacked up. Got them out here, I'm saying, about slashing tires and shit. Don't wait till you get 30 to slash some tires. How about telling people not to slash tires at all? Tearing people's shit up. How about don't let somebody get you so damn out your square that they done said something that's gonna make you do something physical? How about giving them some good advice? How about teach the girls how they can push forward, how they might be able to, not have the life you have, so to speak, because they can do even better. But how about not try to teach them to do something to reach for the stars? Instead of teaching them to do something like that, you tell them they ask to go out here and do something to get themselves in fucking trouble. Like it just don't make no sense. And you say it with no asterisk, no nothing behind it. No, if you go out here and be toxic, your ass can end up in prison and jail or whatever. You just want people to be toxic in their 20s. It's just stupid as hell. It's really irresponsible. Mm-hmm. It's irresponsible as a person, that's supposed to be in the limelight. It's real irresponsible to be out here telling young people, to be out here tearing people shit up. That's what you're implying. Even the stuff about making girls think that it's okay to sleep around. Look, it's your body. You can do what the fuck you want to do with it. We all know that. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to get to your 20s and have 50 fucking bodies, then that's your business. You still out here doing this, and that's what it's going to be. If you think that it's okay to be toxic around and shit, you're going to get to your 30s and have 30 or more bodies. You're going to get to your 40s and have 40, 50 bodies. And let me let you know, don't nobody think that shit is cool. Ain't no dude and nobody that got that many bodies. Ain't nobody thinking that shit is okay. But they got you out here thinking that you all right because you in your 20s, fuck whatever you want to, who, what, when, why, whatever. You still got to live after that. You got to live past 21 or 22. Like, what the hell is your name going to mean after 21 or 22 when you had 22, 23, 24 dudes? I'm saying it ain't going to mean shit. You can be out like 21 Savage, about 21. Like, come on. I'm saying, like, she could have said something way more responsible than that.
Mm-hmm. All right. I so medicated myself.
Are you ready? Go!
Man, this times have definitely changed. I can remember being in 3rd grade and they would have us go to the auditorium and they would have a speaker come there. A speaker could have been somebody like, I don't know, somebody in the military that was a high-ranking official or someone who was a lawyer. And the lawyer would break down like, hey, if you want to be like me, you got to do such and such and go to school for this long, whatever. None of the people I ever heard give inspirational speeches, whether in person or on TV. Let's just say Oprah went to a university and gave a speech. Obama went to a university and gave a speech. None of them ever said, just live your life recklessly in the 20s. And this is how you'll get to the point of how successful we are. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't know, I think she's 20, 21, something like that, maybe 19. she's young, and we're at the point where we either listening to people who are either our same age as teenagers or younger, or because they're entertainers, because it's something we enjoy. People will listen to them who are less than 1% of the population who will get to this point on how to become successful. And especially in our culture, we're steadily listening to people who are successful, mainly because of how people worship them and how they live this toxic lifestyle. But they know this is not real life, because most of the people they're speaking on are never going to be that rich. They're going to be poor, or they're going to be behind everybody because they're living this lifestyle. Glorilla is lucky that someone took her talent or lack of talent, whatever you want to call it, put it on wax, put it on, digitized it, and she got money off of it. That's not going to work for 99.7% of the population that tries to do the same thing she wants to do. So the advice isn't genuine. It's horrible, as everyone said, and the advice is toxic. So why would you want to be that? But that's where we're at in society.
That still plays a part. Like Meek said something about this. He said that's why he do so many speaking engagements. He said, man, we make more money. The more negative stuff I put out, the more money I get paid. The more stuff that I say that pull people down and then make people want to do it, because I'm that influence on them, on the culture now.
Mm-hmm.
We get paid more money.
What an Audemars is because of Meek Millie. They're the best. Like corporate America has taken the American rapper and used them to be the ultimate salesman.
Yep.
And we, as the Black community, are the ultimate consumers.
Yep. What they say?
Like
she wanted red bottoms. They put it in a thing, so people wanted to go get what? Red bottoms. They named something, you go get it. Jay-Z was rapping about Cristal. First he was rapping about Cristal. Now he was like, yeah, we drink Cristal over here. So in the crib, everybody had Cristal, everybody had a Bentley. Now they don't drink Cristal no more.
We've influenced fashion. Like we know the names of Giorgio Giovanni and Gucci and Versace. Like Tupac was really out here in the silky shits because of these European men that had that understood that, oh shit, this violent culture or this violent music has a large fan base. And if you could sprinkle in some of
and a big influence.
If you could sprinkle in some of that, if you could sprinkle in some of our company names, we would gladly appreciate it. And we don't even know if, like, we talking about rich people. We don't know if they rich. I've never seen her bank account. Well, it's all in your contract. I remember I saw a video of Bun B saying, you get an 80-page contract, like 3 of it is for the shit that you want. And they'll put the check right next to it. So it's kind of like a visual mind game that they're playing with you. There's still 77 pages in this contract that you should definitely look over, because they're going to get a lot more from you than you ever will from them. And again, it's just always disheartening to see what our celebrities are willing to sell us, because they're selling us out. And and I hate the term sellout, because we literally go through an episode of like Undercover Brother every time we have a conversation about this shit. But they pump negative things into our community to want people to actually introduce toxins, something that is toxic. If you're introducing toxic people into your life, into your body, into your personal space, what is the actual positive benefit of that, other than you can say you were doing what everyone else was doing? Like, just like if we really start having to, we have to start paying attention to the power of our words. Like Gloria, what she was very vocal about the power of manifestation when she first came out. She said her success was manifested. She locked in on a routine. And I feel like, again, when we start giving glimpses of hope to our people, those contracts come in the room. They say, okay, we're going to give you this, this, and this. but you got to do this. You got to say this. We'll put your album out if you've got a song that sounds like this. Like Eminem used to talk about. Even a white ass artist like Eminem would say the label would not allow me to release my album unless I put a "Hi, my name is" type of song on the album. Because that's what people consume. They love the name dropping. They love the fact that I'm mentioning products. I'm going to use products in the video. It's just like a fucking movie. Like you said in the chat, right? It's all Hollywood. Like a lot of your favorite rappers live in LA. They definitely have property there.
Nelly got that Air Force Ones. Now what everybody want to be stomping in? Air Force Ones.
Well, meanwhile, they take a knee. White people flood the streets and burn Nikes. And Nike will still cater to
exactly.
LT, remember that video that it's in the group, it's in the chat, and it's got Nicki Minaj where she's talking about Future, and she's talking about Future about what his main talking points is his music, which is pretty much doing drugs, and she's like, Future told me that he don't even do drugs like that. He barely ever drinks, he barely does any drugs, but he knows that's what his audience wants to hear, and that's what's going to sell. And that's, I think, the same thing. Her same thought process is like, why would I give positive outlooks for my fans if that's not who bought my music? If they love ratchetness or toxicity, I can't even say the wrong, toxic acts or whatever. Toxicity. There we go. If my fans love that, why would I push anything positive? So I'm gonna keep saying, hey, live your life, because you can continue living your life. I keep making
go back to that
type of life. Then I'm gonna keep feeding. It's kind of like Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness was
it's a show business thing. Like this is why Joseph Jackson didn't want.
Let me make this one point quick. It's like Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness. I don't know if anybody has a membership there. If they do, then I'm sorry for it. But Planet Fitness, what they'll do is they'll tell about they don't want people to judge when you come in there. They got all this workout equipment because of course, people want to work out. But then if you work out too hard and you yell too hard, they tell you to shut up, basically, or you can get out. Or for the people who are trying to lose weight, here's the toxic part. They'll have days with Chick-fil-A food in there and Krispy Kreme donuts in there. Toxic, and because they want you to continue to be fat, so you continue to bring them money. And that's the same thing that Glorilla do. It's evil genius plan. It's a genius in it. It's evil, but it's an evil genius plan.
There's no money in the cure. There is money in the medication. It's money in the treatment. And there is a divine connection between music and the way it has an ability to influence a culture. Like there was that's why in the 60s and 70s we had such revolutionary things happening, because the artists were actually like Marvin Gaye was actually singing about what is going on. He really and truly wanted to know. You know what I'm saying? Even Michael Jackson was out here telling us that they did not really care about us.
Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. James Brown.
Like that man, James Brown literally gave an entire generation music for revolution. The music industry is always going to be an industry. I love hip hop, and I love gangster rap in particular. But yeah, ever since they saw how much money you make off of gangster rap, and the private prison system can get in on this, because a lot of your favorite rappers also make millions and millions of dollars off of private prison systems. Sean Carter.
And
if you're pumping negativity into a community where we're constantly talking about doing harm and doing crime to ourselves within our own community, like I've never heard a rapper say, "Oh, I wish one of these crackers would," or just let me catch a Klansman. I've never heard that. And when you think about it, music plays at a direct frequency. There are frequencies like 432, 936 that you actually attain an actual kind of nirvana when you sit down and meditate and just listen to those. And our musicians know this. Like it's funny. I saw a pastor basically calling Beyonce the devil, a singing witch songstress or whatever the fuck, for how she was lulling her fans into, they call a hive of witches, or they call a group of witches a hive, which is a beehive and shit. But it's like, Our artists are the only ones that are selling negativity. Taylor Swift is not. She doesn't have to sell toxicity. Justin Bieber does not have to sell, oh, I'm still hurt over these. Like Drake is always going to have to be a CLB. He's always going to have to sing about not finding the right one. How can you not find the right one? You're in a much better position than anyone else. Like there's no reason you should be making toxic lover boy music. But you're doing that because that's your audience. That's who you have to play to. That's who's going to buy it. They're going to feel the excessive need to keep up with the soundtrack to their generation.
But that's why they talk about popping pills and doing Xannies and all this stuff like that.
You a father, Drake. You need to be awake.
And it reverts back to what Chris Rock said. The government don't want you to get high. It ain't that they don't want them to get high. It's that they want them to get high off their drugs.
Yeah.
So why not influence you to do what? Pop Xannies. What is that? A government drug.
Yeah. That's where it switched from illegal drugs in the 90s to prescribed drugs.
Exactly.
Currently. It's brilliant. So the music industry is working with the medical industry.
The medical industry, the fashion industry, the private prison industry, the porn industry, these video. There's so many video vixen documentaries. It's all corrupt. It's all corrupt.
It's just a system.
Okay.
No doubt.
Anybody else have anything to say on the situation before we move forward?
I don't even know. Like, damn, someone just told me the name of it.
When we talk about like James Brown with the Black and I'm Proud, he did do those songs, but don't forget he also put out songs like You Gotta Use What You Got to Get What You Want, and songs like Hot Pants. He put out the song Hot Pants. Song ain't nothing but about girls and goddamn coochie cutters. The whole song, Hot Pants, is about that, and the other song where he's talking about you got to use what you got to get what you want. You got to shake what your mama gave you. He got one of those. He got something about doing what your mama gave you. So he was telling us to be black and proud, but on the other side, he was still telling women to go out here and not wear no clothes and use what you got to get what you want. You gotta
exactly. He did do that.
You know, so I was just saying, yeah, we have
James Brown was out here on coke a lot of times.
Huh?
I said James Brown was out here on cocaine a lot of times. Like he is not like the way I look at our artists, our celebrities, the same way I look at the founding fathers. Benjamin Franklin is a great man who was on the $100 bill, electric key, lightning. He was also a misogynist. He was also a womanizer. He also, I'm pretty sure, owned slaves and shit. But he did a lot of quote unquote great things for this country. You know, two things can be true. And I just feel like even though or not even to take anything away from the fact that James Brown had those songs and he was singing about shit like that, our artists just simply they capitalize more so. And you can make an argument for the fact that it's always been that way, that we them as musicians know how to capitalize off of our traumas, how to put it on record and make a better living for themselves. Like this, I'm not going to say, can we blame them? But at a certain point, the blame has to then we got to stop supporting them. I don't mind. I've never bought a Glorilla album. I don't know. I mean, she got one.
She does? Okay. I would say Cardi B had one. So
I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't even know who she was until y'all put, video out.
She doing her thing. She out here. Cardi B and them got a new song out. I didn't even know the VMAs happened.
Yeah. Well, see,
I didn't even know that was still happening.
That is the other difference between. That's the other difference between, I guess, with James Brown back then and today. With Hot Pants or other songs, a lot of songs are wordplay. They put it towards the background. You really didn't know what they were saying until you got grown.
There was a bit more fancy, yes.
Yeah, but I'm saying
now they just also, with it.
Yeah, well, that too. And then because of social media, people can just come out and just say what they want to say. They ain't even got to put a beat behind it. They just say what they don't like about society or say how people should live their life.
Yeah, because let's make no mistake. Glorilla's biggest song is "Fuck Nigga Free." Like if you're a fan that is not a black person and you have to tell someone how you know this artist, that would be their biggest song. Like that would.
Yeah.
John, have you ever seen that video?
No.
FREE, fuck nigga free. Like that's
just go.
I heard the song where they talk about twerking on the headlights.
I heard the song. Like I got younger people, younger siblings, so of course I've heard the song.
I'm the younger sibling.
You know who the hell sung it? And I'm like,
that was her. You just met her.
Man, just go look at the video after we end, man, and just like within the first minute or so, you can be like, what the hell is this? And people gravitate towards it.
Of course.
You know,
that's what they taught.
Yeah.
What they taught. Unfortunately, it's suggestive. See, because back then we had timeless music. You know what I mean? Still, a lot of the artists when we were growing up are still in the game now, surprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got longevity, they got the skill, they got the mindset. You know, they actually putting out stuff that want to be that people want to hear. My
what's sad is they're not
from our era. My daughters listen to music from our era. You know, so that's to say something for that. And this new stuff, everybody sounds just alike.
And let me jump on that because that was my point I was about to make. 20, 30, 40, 50, how many every decades ago with music, it was all about being unique. And celebrities were people doing things that we could never dream of doing. Michael Jackson did stuff that we could never dream of doing. We would try to emulate it. Some fell on their face trying to do the moonwalk. Some succeeded.
Trying to do the lean for Smooth Criminal.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people fell on their face on that.
I actually did it one time.
Yeah, but this is a thing. That's how we viewed celebrities, from the Temptations to Little Richard to Keith Richards, all the Rolling Stones. They all were doing stuff, whether with music or behind the music, doing stuff that we aspired to do. Today, in the age of self, the artists who are celebrities now, if you even want to call them that, are doing things that anyone can do. So I think people. Way they put people on a platform now is because, man, they can do that. They're just like me. So I'm going to push them to a pedestal like Glorilla. Like, I don't think she does anything that's outstanding compared to some of the female rappers of the 90s or early 2000s and some today that don't get a lot of press.
Yeah.
A lot of the rappers, the mumble rappers, the one that are just doing nursery rhyme time rap, they're not doing anything special. I think it's just because they're relatable. And people are going to follow the relatable to the ends of the earth a lot of times.
There you go.
Because they're selling you the same thing, but slightly different.
Right. But there's an artist out, Locksmith. A lot of people don't know who he is. And when I say this boy is a monster, he a monster. Like, he ain't a mumble rapper. He actually has a point behind what he's saying and a whole lot of. So I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance, check his joint out. Check a couple of his tracks out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I let's just say something like DMX. DMX, you know, when people were trying to gravitate towards DMX, it was when he was doing bad again. Like, oh, well, at least he's a real guy, though. Mm-hmm. Nobody, and then they want to cheer for him towards the end of his life when he's about 50 and he's trying to recover. And people are like, oh, well, I hope you make it through. But you were cheering him through his worst part of his life to continue living that way. That's just the nature of our culture. We like seeing the worst in people because we want he's relatable because if he lives that way. Same thing with Mary J.
It reminds us that they're not perfect.
Happy songs. She wants, talk about good relationships and being with a man. And then, when she got that divorce, people were like, oh, yeah, we're going to get some good material now because now she's going to go into a rage and create songs about how bad men are. And Beyonce, too. And, but Beyonce still married.
We're hurt creatures and we gravitate towards other hurt creatures. Like we love trauma. Like there's honestly, it's so sad that you could tell hip hop has drifted towards a more consumer friendly base because those artists from, the 90s and the 80s, they're not rich. Like a Jay-Z. They're not rich like a Diddy, and it's because honestly they weren't given the same opportunities because they weren't willing to flood their music with the kind of commercialism that you see in hip hop today. And it's not even just product placement. They are selling actively being toxic. They're selling active drug usage because these drugs that they're getting are FDA approved. You know what I'm saying? You break your leg on the job, you can get some Percocet. It's not hard. It's not hard to come by. And
it is hard to come by. They didn't crack down on it. It's a lot harder to come by than
it's hard to come by because it's reached over into the white
I understand
community.
why. I understand why, but it's still hard to come by.
Like you said, Future don't do it, but he rap about it. What he say in his song? Percocet, Molly Percocet.
Mm-hmm. And people clap for that. Like, oh shoot, I do Molly Percocet too. Yeah, I relate to him.
I may not be able to have millions, but at least I can do that thing he's saying that he's doing in the song. And I can live vicariously through that.
All right. We're going to end it right there. That's going to be the last subject we're going to talk about today. We're going to go into, make sure I got it up here, The Deepest Thought. See if I can find the video. I got it in here somewhere. Deepest Thought, just a video about just anything. You're just going to watch the video and then not really commenting on just whatever you see in the video. You just leave it up to your imagination. We don't really got nothing to say on it. I'm trying to find it right quick. Everything's disappearing on me on these damn folders.
Stream Deck, bro. Stream Deck.
I might have to. Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pop it on here.
Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Give me the mic.
All right, that was beautiful. Very beautiful.
Oh my
that was the deepest thought.
She missed some letters, but she made it up by adding some letters.
That's what she want from her.
Want from me.
RESPTCLMNOP.
RESPTCLMNOP.
No matter what it was respect.
It was respect.
Are we sure?
It was the title of a military barrack.
There you go.
It was the title of her having a seizure. That's what that was. She couldn't get that right. I bet they had a karaoke spelling right in front of her too. She still got it wrong.
All
right, that is the end of the show of Hostile Therapy with Big Red. I'd like to thank all our participants on the panel tonight. Sparky T. She's actually getting pulled over. I keep seeing red and blue lights. Looks like
No, I'm gonna need not be getting pulled over. That was a bad accident. I'm trying. It was a bad accident though. That was you saw the blue lights.
Yeah, I thought I saw you like wave somebody like get out the way. I was like, don't do that to police. Don't do that.
Yeah, I was waving somebody out the way because they was, people see the blue lights and they lose their mind. So people see the blue lights even if it ain't nothing going on. They lose their mind. They lose their mind. Like they stabbing on brakes. We all about to stop, try to not hit each other, and about to get whiplash, and it wasn't even nothing there. I mean, other than they saw the police. I get it. Get them their respect and do whatever you gonna do, but they will give you a ticket for going too slow.
Yep. All right. Thanks for coming on, John the Icon. Any shout outs you want to give before you sign off? None. Nobody.
Look. I'm a family man, so I appreciate my family for staying kind of quiet, poking their head in and putting up with me for this moment. But yeah.
You ain't done yet. Can I get that last piece of chicken?
Exactly. You eating that? It's too late for you to eat.
I gotta sell it.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Preezy. of course, the podcast Listen Up, Listen In.
Thank you.
Better plug where you can find that at.
Lily.
Breezy, go plug it.
Yes, what you say?
I said you better plug it. The podcast.
Oh, you want me?
Yeah.
Yes. You want me to say something about it?
Yeah, I want you to plug it.
Oh, plug it. All right. Oh, this is my podcast. Listen Up, Listen. And you can find me at www.listenuplisten568.7.com. And I'm on all podcast platforms internationally. And it's all about self-love, self-view, motivation, education, all that positive stuff. Keeping positive things in our lives.
All right, very good. She was like, "That's my podcast." No, what?
That's me.
Where you get that picture?
That was her in the picture, guys. In case y'all didn't know, that was her. All right, LT, thanks for coming on, sharing your knowledge. Any shout outs you want to give?
Let me see. Free Palestine, as always. Got to drop that joint. Let's see. Nothing right now, but look out in October. It's about to be a real spooky season. God, you already know.
Hey, now.
You don't know, but that's the thing. You're about to know. But you know what I'm saying. On the way.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming on to Hostile Therapy. I can't even say it right. Hostile Therapy. I think I'm hungry. I can't speak right tonight. Not because you want to, but because you need it. And we'll be back next Thursday, same time, same problems, and hopefully some solutions. We'll see you on the next podcast. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.
Peace.